Yeah, if Air 1's up. Right. Wait, Air 1 is up right now?
Yeah, I think we're looking good.
Okay, cool.
Oh, I can't hear anything. Oh.
Hey, Coach.
Oh, got it. Okay, sounds good. Yeah, so you should be good otherwise. One thing I do want you to check on during that hour in which you don't have volleyball going on, I should have checked earlier today. I just at all. But go into studio and into Air 1. So not right now because the DJ in there, but during that hour in which we're not producing anything actively in Air 1, go into that studio and make sure that there is a Comrex spot. If not, there's an easy fix. If there is, that's great, obviously. If not, you just have to fix it, and I can tell you how to do that. And then also, you're gonna want to open up the recording equipment on the computer off to the left side, and then obviously record from that. Yeah. So actually, in Air 1, it's gonna be kind of weird. You're gonna run recordings on the computer on the left, and then a wide orbit on the computer on the right. And there's a wide orbit pod, not a PC pod, specifically a wide orbit pod. You should be able to do that in there. If you want to, just mess around with that a little bit during that first hour of my broadcast, just with Q on for that wide orbit pod in Air 1. Just mess around a little bit so you can get a little familiar with it. I think what you're going to have to do is, since we're using this sports account in production 2, you're not going to be able to use that same account. So you're just going to have to search for the files you want to set up those breaks, which is kind of annoying. But for volleyball, you're going to have, a break for the anthem, a break for intermission, and then that's it. So it's not like it'll be that bad, and you have lots of time to do it. But yeah. So we should be able to make that work. You're gonna want Comrex 1 to Air 1 this time, but keep it on Prod 2 for now because you're gonna want to test with Matt before the show starts. Okay. All right. So you want to test our audio levels now because we're gonna do a live hit as well, and then of course you're gonna be tossing straight to us. All right. Yes, that sounds good. Okay, so let's do our testing. Let me know when you have Audition up and recording so you can see what. All right, well, go ahead and put your headset on so we can test our audio levels. 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4 here at Sheldon High School, getting set for Week 1 of high school football in the state of Oregon. Sheldon and Southridge should be a fun battle in Week 1. All right, go ahead, Colin. Just say some random things.
Pretty hot out here.
Oh man.
Told me to wear a long sleeve. I'm sweating through the long sleeve. Hopefully I'm sounding all right while I'm giving off a pretty sad message.
He's a little, I think we're both hot here.
Hot in the
Taggart's son isn't even in uniform. He doesn't have pads on. Number 19?
Yeah.
That's Taggart's son. He's not even pads on. What?
Raymond's not playing either. He's on the bench.
Oh, yeah. Matt, do you know why Willie and Raymond aren't playing tonight?
Yeah, Raymond's not because he mono.
Oh, okay.
Really got concussion.
Oh, okay. Here, number 8. That's their quarterback.
Yeah.
Look how big he is.
Yeah, well, he's the biggest dude on the team.
Yeah.
There we are, guys.
Cool.
And this isn't even this.
Oh, really?
This isn't working.
Really?
And I'm already not there, so I'm going to see if this is going to work or not. Get the finish crossed.
Looks good.
All right.
Start the little pregame action.
Huh?
When are we starting the pregame?
We'll do it like maybe 5 minutes till 6:55 or something.
5 minutes.
Well, maybe like, I think I told them I want to like 6. I want to do the break at like 6:53.
Oh, it's 6:11. That's not 5 minutes.
No, like a 5-minute.
Oh,
pregame,
I thought you said in 5 minutes.
No.
I was like, we still got a ways to go.
In 5 minutes. No, not in 5 minutes.
Yeah, yeah,
Pregame.
yeah. Good to go.
Awesome.
Okay, Jason, why don't you guys work on this right here?
Use the restroom real quick.
What?
Use the restroom real quick.
Okay, sounds good. I think it's right down there.
Yeah.
What? Oh yeah, both places, yeah, for real. Better year, for sure. I mean, I think if I were betting, I'd say 8 wins. Yeah. 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 They should be a lot of fun, yeah.
first bathroom I go into has a wasp in it. It's like, oh no, thank you.
Sorry, what?
We're good on sound.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're good.
Good evening, football fans. Welcome to Dennis Southridge Stadium, Marty Johnson Field, and tonight's season opener featuring the visiting Southridge Skyhawks and your Sheldon Fighting Irish. The Oregon School Activities Association is proud to partner with the participating schools in presenting this game. Good sportsmanship is a vital component of high school athletics. The OSAA and our student athletes recognize the judgment calls, either by coaches, officials, or the players themselves, are made in good faith and should be respected. We encourage you to support your team in a positive manner while pursuing victory with honor. Sportsmanship is all about respecting the game, each other, and yourselves. Be loud, be proud, and be positive. Ladies and gentlemen, we start our pregame show with the Sheldon High School Marching Band and Cheer. Marching band consists of 73 Sheldon High School students.
Yep. Great.
Okay, go in. Hey, you ready? You got this figured out. You know how to do all this stuff. Make sure everything's charged in. My phone's right here. What's good? Usability.
Your attention, please. Will you please stand and remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem under the direction of Sheldon Band Director Therese Morrell. Officials for tonight's game are referee Andy Ventura, umpire George Spicer, and his linesman Michael Patton, line judge Dave Pritchard, and back judge Tony Reynolds. Johnson. Number 3, senior receiver, defensive back, Wyatt Seidel. Number 4, junior receiver, defensive back, Kamani Quaid. Number 5, junior receiver, defensive lineman, Patrick Clifford. Number 6, junior running back, Zach Folsom. Number 7, senior linebacker, Jaron Banks. Number 8, junior defensive back, Matthew Burgess. Number 11, senior place kicker and punter, Campbell Shado. Number 12, senior receiver defensive back, Uda Maggio. Number 16, senior defensive back, Ben Watson. Number 22, senior linebacker, Chris Collins. Number 51, junior two-way lineman, Austin Lasby. Number 52, senior offensive lineman, Zach Filippo. Number 58, senior offensive lineman, Tyler Sessions. Number 71, senior two-way lineman, Matt.
Welcome into Sheldon High School, Dennis Ludwig Stadium, Marty Johnson Field, the site for week 1 of high school football here in the state of Oregon. It's the home team, the Sheldon Irish, taking on the visiting Southridge Falcons. Mark Randy with you here alongside Colin Catman. Should be a fun game tonight. Sheldon under a new head coach, Josh Lyon, coming in from Marshall, replacing Lane Johnson. But Colin, it doesn't really seem like a normal change in terms of a head coach. You come off of a great run with Lane Johnson and both the Johnsons. You get a new coach, but this is a team that's reloaded. They're looking for a state title here in 2017.
They're absolutely poised to get that state title here in 2017, Mark. It's great to have high school football back. The weather's perfect. But
maybe a little on the warm side.
It will get perfect, though, pretty soon.
Yes.
But a lot to look forward here tonight. The new coaching staff, obviously the new quarterback, Michael Johnson. Pretty well known for the 2018 class, number 1 dual threat quarterback. Everyone's excited to see him play. So, yeah, definitely not the normal start to a new regime at head coach. There's certainly a lot more hype around many more positions than just the head coaching spot.
Yeah, and you mentioned the old head coach, Lane Johnson. He retired last year after 20 years as a coach here at Sheldon. The last 6 as a head coach. He went 67-10 in his 6 years, at least to the quarterfinals in all 6 of those years. Sheldon as a team overall, they've made it the quarterfinals of the state playoffs in the 6A level, the highest level of high school football here in the state of Oregon. They made it 11 straight years. Johnson won a title as well as the head coach of this team. Now Josh Lyon spent the last 14 years at 4A Marshfield down in Coos Bay, Oregon. The last few years as an assistant, he spent 10 years last few years as a head coach, and the last 10 before that as an assistant coach. They seem they've been successful over the last few years. Lots of playoff appearances for them as well. But a whole new beast, a whole new animal here for Sheldon. They lose a lot from a year ago, including all Southwest Conference players, quarterback Zach Deal, running back Tanner Zenke, wide receiver Cameron Long, offensive lineman Cody Scher, who's now on the Oregon Ducks as a freshman after getting a scholarship from the Ducks. But as you mentioned, Michael Johnson, Raymond Woody, Willie Taggart, all sons of coaches on the Oregon football team. This is a really high-profile high school team. You can't find much more than this one here in Sheldon.
A lot of names and certainly a lot of hype just with those guys alone. But this is a quality team already coming into this game. Though you just mentioned that some really good players left. They filled those spots with some excellent players. So there's not going to be, I don't anticipate too much of a drop-off with certainly the names that are on this roster. It's good, and they got a good quality coach coming in. So I wouldn't expect too much of a drop-off, especially not with your most important position filled at quarterback.
Yeah, and you mentioned that's Michael Johnson Jr., the number 1 dual-threat quarterback in the entire nation. He has offers from all over the place across the nation: Ohio State, Michigan, Alabama, Oregon, and some others as well. Last year, he played down in Kings Academy in Sunnyvale, California, where his dad, Michael Johnson Sr., the elder, was the head coach. He's now the wide receivers coach at Oregon. And he was incredible last year, 61% completion percentage, 25 touchdowns to 3 interceptions. Also ran a lot, 775 total yards, 12 touchdowns. Also completed a little bit of defense, an interception last year from Michael Johnson. This is a very talented and athletic group for the Sheldon Irish. We'll see what they can do offensively. They are going to be without Raymond Woody and Willie Taggart in today's game. You look at the Irish. Willie Taggart has a concussion, will not play in week 1. And then Raymond Woody has mono, so he's sick and cannot play here as well. But a lot of bodies for Sheldon. They should be able to make up for those losses.
Certainly. And it's definitely tough when you lose Raymond Woody, who's also a stout player, also plays some quarterback. But the wide receiver, defensive back won't be in the game tonight. Willie Taggart plays some defensive back as well. He's also the backup quarterback. Won't be the backup tonight, obviously, but they're poised to still fill those spots. Next man up for Sheldon. It's going to be a good game no matter what.
Like Sheldon, they will kick off to open up their 2017 season, looking to make their 20th straight playoff appearance and their 12th straight appearance to the quarterfinals of the OSAA state playoffs. To kick off for Sheldon, it is the Southwest Conference first team Hunter, second team kicker Campbell Shado. He also was an All-State honoree, honorable mention honoree at the punter position. He will kick off as well for the Irish. And to take the field is Southridge. They'll take the field here in a couple of moments. Sheldon wearing their home greens, dark green helmets, green tops with white numbers on the front and back, green pants, green socks, and players wearing different shoes, some white, some black. And for Southridge, the white tops with gold helmets, black pants, and black shoes. Good look for both teams here in week 1.
Definitely looking pretty clean. Definitely showed off the new threads, it seems.
Taking the field now is Southridge. They'll be moving from right to left for their first drive here in the first quarter. Sheldon kicking off from the left side. They'll kick towards the right side of the field. Down to return of the kickoff is Michael Pluck for Southridge, along with Kevon Eady. Set to kick things off is Shado for the Irish. And we are underway in 2017. The kick is up deep towards the 10-yard line, taken there. Back all the way to the 5, in fact, by Pluck. And he goes up the middle. And he's taken down by a couple of Sheldon Irish defenders. There on the tackle was Yuri Rigby, all the way back at about the 15-yard line.
Just stuffed him. Rigby with an absolute great tackle. It's already a great start to the game.
Sheldon starting defense here from the 15-yard line. That's what Southridge will begin their first drive. They got to go a long way against the Sheldon defense, and if there is a weak spot of this team, it's probably the lines on both sides. Lost a lot of talent and big guys on those sides. It'll be interesting to see if they can penetrate the offensive line of Southridge here early on.
Well, not only that, but it looks like we have an injured player on the field as well.
Can't quite see a number on who that is, but it is for Sheldon, and we hope it is nothing serious. But a shame. We'll be on the first play of the season before even a play from scrimmage on the kickoff. Player's lying down on his back. Trainers are over and looking at him, along with head coach Josh Line. We still cannot see the number. We will update you on who that is when we do know ourselves. It looks like it is a lineman, or at least a bigger ball down there for the Sheldon Irish. Can't quite see exactly, though.
You hate to see that, especially first play of the game of the new season. Hate to see an injury anytime, but
especially for a season as anticipated as this one for the Sheldon Irish. Still down on his back, knees up. Being looked at by 2 trainers and head coach Josh Line in his first year. His game is first play as the head coach of the Sheldon Irish. Still down on the field is the player for the Irish. Can't see just yet. When this game does resume, it'll be 1st and 10 for Southridge from their own 15-yard line. And we'll see the offense for Southridge come out, led by quarterback Bradley Bickler, and he's stands out really on that sideline. Stands at 6'7", 240 pounds. He is a load. He can throw the ball and also run the ball with that size as well.
He's the biggest player on the team. Wouldn't really expect that from the quarterback position, but certainly an advantage when you can run the ball. You're that tall. You can see over the linemen, get a good view of those we saw from that one throw. He could definitely get some yards after the catch. 2 things to watch out for is the run and Edie. That's what seems to be the plays for Southridge so far on offense.
3rd and 11 from the 32-yard line. Back to pass as Bickler fires over to the left side looking for Edie. Tipped up in the air, down to the turf, incomplete. 4th down coming up. A near interception for Sheldon. He falls to the turf. Now 4th and long coming up. I think we will see Southridge go for kind of in that no man's land territory here in high school football. And too long for a field goal. You can't put either in your own or in Sheldon's territory.
Absolutely. And you saw right there, we just said Edie was the focal point, and Sheldon seemed to have double teamed him there. It might have been, seemed like man-to-man and then a zone.
4th and 11. Southridge Southridge to get to the 22-yard line. Back to pass Bickler, but the play is blown dead of the line of scrimmage. And it will be a false start on Southridge. So a false start. It will be 4th and longer now. 4th and 16. All the way back to about the 37-yard line. They need to go all the way to the 22 or 21 around there here for the Southridge Skyhawks. And it looks like we'll see the offense stay out there, but we could very well see a punt here again. Still kind of in that no man's land is Southridge. And the shotgun is big. Takes the snap, looking over to the middle part of the field. Now to the left side, fires for Edie deep over the middle, and it is picked off! Intercepted by Sheldon. That's Uta Maggio on the interception. Turnover, Sheldon ball. Down to the 5-yard line.
Tell you what, if Sheldon, if they're going to succeed on defense, that's what they're going to have to keep doing, either shading the middle linebacker as a double coverage or with the safety. Edie is definitely the focal point. Bickler didn't look anywhere else on that throw, and none of his throws really. So great read there by Maggio.
Good interception. That ball was fired high into the air. A lot of time for the safety, Maggio, to get there in time. So 1st and 10 from the 5 for Sheldon, their second possession this year. And the shotgun is Michael Johnson Jr. Off to his left is the running back Folsom. He takes the snap now in the goal line and runs to the left side himself. Design quarterback and has some blockers, gets to the outside, breaks a tackle, spin down just shy of the 10-yard line to about the 9. A gain of a handful of yards. 2nd and about 6 or so coming up. And it looks like they might give him 5. Now, indeed, it will be 4 yards total. 2nd and 6 coming up here for Sheldon in their offense. No score, 6:10 left in the first quarter. And the shotgun once again is Johnson. 3 receivers to his right, 1 over to the left side. Takes the snap, takes, Hannah fires over to the left side. Caught there by Herbert in the flat, picks up a couple blockers, breaks a tackle, taken down to the 15-yard line. Will he have enough for the first down? I'm not quite sure. Right, tackled on the line to gain. No signal just yet, and it will be a first down for Sheldon. So a gain of 6 yards exactly. 1st and 10 from the 15 now for the Irish. And the shotgun once again is Michael Johnson Jr. 3 to the left and 1 to the right for receivers. Takes a snap, hands it off to Fulton. Has a lot of room to run, breaks a tackle, spins away from another one. He goes all the way up near the 25-yard line. About the 24, gain of 9, 2nd and short coming up for Sheldon.
It's a nice run there by Folsom. Had some room there on the right side, was able to cut it back towards the middle, get some more yards. Sheldon offense is looking pretty dynamic to start. You know, they showed off the big play, but they're also they seem to be setting up the big play again with all these small little design throws and the runs.
2nd and 1, and here's the snap to Johnson Jr., but a flag comes out, and it looks like this will be a false start again on Sheldon. And it is. So no longer 2nd and 1, now 2nd and 6 after that 5-yard penalty. And penalties have been an issue for Sheldon, 3 so far. We got 5:16 left in the first quarter, no score. I'm a little bit surprised there's been no score just yet. I thought this would be a high-scoring game. So early, though, lots of points can still be put up on the board in this one. 2nd and 6, the snap to Johnson Jr. Looking to the left side, fires over to his running back, Folsom. Makes the catch, breaks a tackle, picks up a blocker as well. Has the first down and more, taken down to the 35-yard line. And a good gain there by Sheldon. A gain of about 16 yards on that pass out to the left side. Get to the ball, into the running back's hand, let him run for it. Pick up some blocks, a good gain for the Irish. So 1st and 10 for Sheldon at the 35. No score here in Sheldon. Back to pass now. Johnson Jr. comes up, reverses field now, looking to run with it. Gets to the outside and has a lot of room to run across the 45. Has the first down, pushed out of bounds just shy of midfield. It's a gain of 12 yards to the 47. Another first down for Sheldon.
Certainly starting to see the versatility. We saw the big arm on the first drive. Now we're starting to see the design runs, able to escape the pocket there, make something out of nothing.
1st and 10 again here for Sheldon. They're now at the 47. They need to get to the other 43-yard line for another first down. And the snap here to Johnson. Jr. steps back, looking to pass. Sets up a screen to Folsom. He has the reception. Picks up a block, now out to the 45-yard line to the 40, breaks another tackle, still going to the 45, another tackle, breaks another tackle to the 30, taken down inside the 30-yard line. That was Jaron Banks there on the reception. Out of the backfield coming in to spell Folsom. The All-State linebacker coming in at backup running back made a nice play. That picked up a lot of blockers all the way down to the 28-yard line.
The old halfback screen. That'll get you some yards, especially when you got a mobile quarterback showing that he can throw the ball deep. And then you just hit him with a little halfback screen.
4 minutes, 26 seconds left here in the first quarter. No score, Sheldon and Southridge. First and 10 from the 23. There's 27, pardon me now. Johnson back to pass. Has some time, rolls left, now will fire, looking for the end zone, and it is caught at the 5, and he runs into the end zone. Touchdown, Wyatt Seidel. And Sheldon has their first score of the season. A 27-yard touchdown pass from Michael Johnson Jr. to Wyatt Seidel. 6-0 Irish out in front.
I'll tell you what, Mark, what impressed me there on that throw wasn't the throw itself, but the pocket awareness by Michael Johnson. He started out right, didn't even look back and knew that there was pressure coming from the right side. Able to loft a beautiful ball to Seidel. Looked like it was almost going to get picked off, but somehow made its way in there. And there's the first touchdown of the season for the Irish.
First touchdown of the year for Sheldon, a 27-yard touchdown pass from Johnson to Seidel. On the extra point now is Shado. The snap is high, and it's fallen on by Shado. No extra point as the snap was high over the head of Seidel, the holder. So the extra point no good, just 6-0 Sheldon after that 27-yard touchdown pass. So 6-0 Sheldon, now 4:08 left in the first quarter. That drive a lot more impressive for Sheldon rather than their first one that stalled a bit around midfield.
I think what was different there is they went for the big play on that first drive that seemed to have stalled them a little bit, but they showed off a lot more versatility on that drive. They ran the ball well, had some design, like they had the wide receiver screen, the halfback screen, some dink and dunk throws for some big yards. That's what was impressive, is that the plays themselves don't really yield a lot of yardage, but Sheldon got a lot of yards out of them. So we saw that they have the plays for the big play, but right now they're settling for the smaller plays and the runs, and that seems to be doing them well so far.
It was a 95-yard touchdown drive for Sheldon. They began that all the way back at their own 5-yard line after the interception by Maggio. And then a 27 touchdown pass, a big screen play to Jaron Banks as well. Lots of big chunk yardage for Sheldon on that drive. 6-0 Sheldon back to kick this one off from his own 40-yard line is Campbell Shado back to return. Is Pluck and Edie. Kick is up and off. Down to the goal line, taken there by Edie. He'll take it out at the 5. Now cuts back up to the middle of the 20-yard line. And he's tripped up just across the 20 to about the 23-yard line. And it'll be first and 10 for Southridge from the 23-yard line. The next drive begins here for the Skyhawks.
If you're Sheldon, you got to key in on the run, and obviously key in on Edie because he was the focal point of all those throws. Rightfully so. He's a heck of an athlete just from the eye test. But if you're that Sheldon defensive line, they had some success running the ball. Bickler had some success scrambling, so got to tighten that up a little bit if you're going to play this team.
Bickler out of the shotgun. To his right is his running back, Blake Sims. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. He takes it out, looking to throw, goes over the middle, looking for his receiver. Has his man, that's Auer, taken down across the 40-yard line. Good play on first down. The first long play of this drive for the Skyhawks. They had a big pass completion last drive. Another one here. First and 10 from the 41-yard line. We pitch to the 42, and now a timeout is called for by Southridge. So all the way from the 24 out to the 42, a gain of 18 yards on first down. And when we come back after this timeout for Southridge, it'll be first and 10, looking to get back in this game, down by 6. A pretty low-scoring game, at least from what I expected. We saw Sheldon score about 45 points all of last year, and you take away that last game in the quarterfinals they lost to Tiger. They got shut out of that one, 27-0. Sheldon just 6 points so far in this first quarter, but the defense was stepping up nothing so far for Southridge.
Well, it's been a lot of long drives for both teams. Actually, the first drives for both teams to start the game were rather quick, but these last two, the Southridge drive took some time. Sheldon was methodical in their drive, so I think for both teams, they're kind of feeling out their teams, seeing what works, seeing what's not. And right there by Bickler, a great read over the middle. Sheldon seemed to be in some zone coverage. So already showing off that they don't have to rely just on Edie. I don't think Sheldon was ready for that, as they weren't in man as they were the last drive.
First and 10 from the 42 here for Southridge. Their own 42-yard line, looking to get in the end zone for the first time this year. Handoff goes up the middle of the backup running back. That time it is Nathan Whitechap, and he's taken down across the 40. Gets about a yard or two on first down. And it's now 2nd and 8 coming up after a gain of 2. They're going to call it actually a gain of 3 all the way to the 45-yard line. In the backfield now is Jeffrey Higgins next to Bickler. Takes the snap, runs like a pass, now runs up in the pocket, has from across the midfield, slides down past the first down line to the 47-yard line. And it's a first down, a gain of about 7 yards. First down in Sheldon territory now is Southridge.
Got to be aware of the Sheldon defense. Bickler's had success scrambling. That is the second time after they've been first and 10, second 10, whatever, that he's gotten the first down on his feet.
We're about the 46.5-yard line. Snap goes to Bickler, looks for that throw on the right side. Pressure comes, fires it off, and it's complete over to the far side. That time taken by Fajardo. Has the first down across the 35-yard line, down to the 33-yard line. Another first down. Good throw there under pressure by Bickler.
I was just about to say, Mark, Bickler throws a good ball. His stats last year are kind of misleading. He does throw a good ball, and it seems that he's getting the ball out to his receivers more, that Edie's not out on the field. He has to kind of scan all of his wide receivers.
First and 10 from the 33, and the handoff goes up the middle. Back up running back again, Whitechap there, and he's taken down at the line of scrimmage. In on the tackle for Sheldon. That was Matt Metcalf. We called his name tonight. 2nd and 10 coming up once again from the 33 for the Irish. 2 minutes, 35 seconds left here in the first quarter. 6-0 Irish out in front. Game number 1 of the 2017 season for both these two teams. Snap to Bickler, looking to throw over to the left and now over the middle, looking for his man, overthrown. Looking for Whitechap again, and it's incomplete. 3rd and 10 now coming up after that incompletion over the middle part of the field.
Well, now that you are aware that Bickler does have a good arm and can throw, have to lock down here in your own territory if you're Sheldon.
3rd and 10, well, don't necessarily need to see Southridge get a first down here. If you are the Skyhawks, get a couple yards, you got to make 4th down manageable. You're in kind of that no man's land once again at the 33-yard line. Would be a 50-yard field goal from here, certainly too much in high school football. Back to pass is Bickler, looking over the middle, fires, incomplete off the fingertips of Auer. And it falls to the turf. 4th and 10 coming up. On the coverage there was Jaron Banks, the All-State linebacker for Sheldon.
It's a dangerous throw there for Bickler, putting his wide receiver out to dry there. Banks definitely held up. He could have laid down a big hit if he wanted to.
It looks like we'll see some subs coming in now for Southridge, but the offense is still out there. Edie checks in along with Joshua Callow. But the offense is out there. Looks like we'll see them go for it. 4th and a long 10. It's out to Bickler. He will throw. Looking over the middle, has his man. Complete there to Sims, and he has the first and inside the 20. Breaks a tackle, still going to the 10, taken down the 7-yard line. A 4th and 10 conversion for Southridge all the way down to the 7-yard line. Wow, what a move for the Southridge Skyhawks.
Yards after the catch, that's been the theme of this game so far. A small little crossing route turns into a huge game for Southridge.
First and goal from officially the 8-yard line. In the backfield again is Sims. Made that nice play. You mentioned the yards after scrimmage or yards after catch. A big break of a tackle there for Sims. Bickler back to pass, looking over the middle, fires, incomplete. Intended there for the wide receiver, Joshua Callow. It's a bit high and too far away from the receiver. 2nd and goal now from the 8 coming up for Southridge. That was a gain of 25 yards on 4th and 10.
Second and goal from the
2nd and goal from the 8-yard line here for Southridge. 6-0 Sheldon, 1:54 left in the first quarter. In the shotgun again is Bickler to his right, the running back Sims. He drops back to pass, looking over the middle. Now we'll run with it up the middle. And he breaks the tackle to the 5-yard line, pushes across the end zone. He's in, a touchdown. He broke a tackle to 6'7" Bickler, just using that body to push his way across the touchdown, the first of the year for Southridge. And we're knotted up at 6 with extra point coming for the Skyhawks.
Bickler has had success scrambling. We've said it before. There it is. Their first points of the season is done by the scramble. Sheldon's got to tighten up there on defense because it seems like Bickler can beat you in a lot of ways, just like Michael Johnson, either running the ball or throwing it.
Now taking the extra point here for Southridge is Steele Peterson, the offensive lineman, doing the kicking duties. And the kick is up, and it is to the left, but there is a flag down before the snap, and it is a false start for Southridge. So they'll be moved back a few yards. They'll kick it again from even further back. That could be a big play in this game, ultimately. Remember, Sheldon, they missed their extra point because the snap was high. If they happen to miss this, it will be tied instead of a lead for Southridge. 1:48 to go, 6-6 the score. Extra point coming up here for the Skyhawks. Kicking it is Steele Peterson, the offensive lineman. The snap is there, the hold is good, the kick is up, and it is no good, wide left. So point of touchdown is no good, and the score is tied at 6. 1:48 left in the first quarter. Both teams, an impressive couple of drives the last times, with each of them with the ball, long drives for both sides.
It's the flexibility. I mean, and especially from the quarterback position. We've now seen Bickler and Johnson and what they can do. And it's kind of similar. Michael Johnson scrambled for some yards. Bickler scrambled for some yards. They can both throw really well. It seems to be a mirror image on offense for both teams. They're getting it done kind of the same way with the shallow crosses. Even though Southridge hasn't really done as many screens, it's been these small, these little plays instead of going for the big throw. It's just been dink and dunk throws for some big yards or for scrambling for a lot of yards.
So 6-6 our score. 1:48 left here in the first quarter of this one. It'll be Southridge kicking off from right to left. Back to return for the Irish. Zach Folsom and Matthew Burgess. And set to kick things off here for Southridge. It is Nathan Mercer. He kicks it over. He runs up quickly, and now we'll put it back up on the tee. The whole team, they were in a huddle, and they were sprinting towards the ball, and then they ran it back to the 35-yard line. Trying to freak out the Sheldon Irish return man. Kicking off here again is Mercer. The righty steps into it, kicks it off deep for the Sheldon Irish on the left side. Far side takes it out to the 20-yard line. Picked up. Actually, pardon me, it's knocked down by the Irish. He falls on it. There on the far side, it looks like that was Folsom. That was Burgess, pardon me, able to fall on the far side. He kicked it at the 20-yard line, then ran up the 26-yard line and fell on it. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Sheldon at the 26. Open up their third drive of the year. Punt, touchdown so far the first 2 times with the ball.
Let's see what the Sheldon offense does on this drive. If they go for any big plays or if it's going to be more of the same with the screens and the scrambles and some runs up the middle.
Their last drive, 95 yards and a touchdown. Johnson takes a snap, rolls down to the near side, looking to throw, and he has a screen set up to Herbert, but he's taken down right beyond the line of scrimmage, perhaps a gain of 1 yard, in fact. Good defense there by Southridge. In on the tackle was Nico Coppi. Going to be a gain of nothing. 2nd and 10. Actually, they're going to give him 1 yard officially. It is a long 9, but 2nd and 9 coming up here for Sheldon. From their own 27-yard line after the 1-yard completion to the wide receiver, Patrick Herberts. Back to pass now is Johnson Jr. He takes the screen, takes it up to the running back Folsom, but he's taken down just past the line of scrimmage. A tackle there by Matt Davis. A gain of another yard or so. 3rd and 8 now coming up. Back-to-back 1-yard screen plays for Sheldon.
Southridge seems to be locking up on those screen plays. We just talked about it, and they have responded on defense so far in this drive.
Third, and a long 8. Officially, the scoreboard says 9, but it looks like it is 8 to me. 40 seconds left here in the first quarter, tied 6-6. Sheldon ready to go. Johnson Jr. takes this now, looks to pass over the middle. Steps up in the pocket. Now the pressure comes, and he spins away. And he's taken down at the 36-yard line, or probably the 26-yard line. He'll be taken down for a sack. 4th and long coming up. And it looks like Sheldon will punt here. And that'll do the end for the first quarter, though. 5 seconds left. It will be a punt situation coming up for Sheldon. 4th and long. About 10 coming up for Sheldon. After, pardon me, 5 seconds left now. Here in the first quarter. Back to punt is Shado, but we will not get it in time. The first quarter has come to an end. So it's in the reverse field, but it will be a 4th and 10 for Sheldon. A really impressive defensive drive there for Southridge. 2 good defensive plays on screen plays, and then the sack of Johnson Jr.
Had some quarterback on quarterback crime there.
Yeah.
Bickler with the sack had something to say to Johnson as he got up. But they definitely responded to, and I was surprised Sheldon didn't open up their playbook a little bit more. They kept going with the same plays, the same design screens, and Southridge was able to sniff them out every time. That was very impressive by them on defense. Sheldon has to respond.
It's 6-6 to score here through a first quarter of action. And I think for Southridge, they a little bit more belief now. I think coming into this, obviously they believe on their sideline, but not a lot of these people, I think, in the stands thought they did, considering all the hype Sheldon had been getting, all the talent they have coming back, the talent they gained as well. It's a tie game after one. That's a win for the Southridge Ball Club.
Absolutely, and it's a huge boost of confidence. All you heard about was how good Sheldon had gotten in the offseason with the new acquisitions at key positions. And I don't think many people gave any thought that Southridge would have a chance in this game. Well, tie ball game after a quarter.
Tie ball game after one quarter. Back to punt here is Campbell Shado. Back to return Edie along with Pluck. 4th and 10 for Sheldon. The gain at no yard. The net of nothing on this drive for the Sheldon offense. 2 completions and a quarterback sack of Michael Johnson Jr. And the punt is off here from Shado's right foot. Taken there by Edie. Calls for a fair catch, and it is fumbled. Taken, though, by Sheldon. And the flag has been thrown, though. It was bounced off the arm of Edie and into the arms of a Sheldon guard on the sideline. But they're going to say, I do believe, that it was catch interference on Sheldon. Indeed, it will be kick catch interference on Sheldon. They didn't give him a lot of room. It was on Kamani Quaid for the Irish. I didn't see any contact that was made. Perhaps there was a little bit a brush by, but it looked like Sheldon, they just surrounded him, and then he got a little bit flustered and dropped the ball. But it will be Southridge ball here to start the second quarter.
4th penalty overall in the game for Sheldon, compared to only 2 for Southridge. Got a correction here.
So Southridge, instead of taking the 15 yards or the penalty after the punt, they're going to choose half the distance to the goal on the penalty on the other side and re-kick. So instead of getting the ball around midfield, they're going to have Sheldon punt from even further back. It'll now be a 4th and extremely long for the Irish. Southridge giving the return guys an extra chance, or Southridge giving the return guys an extra chance to try to make something happen on the punt.
Probably a good decision. I mean, it's interesting because you could get the 15 yards from where you caught the ball, but then again, you can also block a punt for a touchdown. Anything can happen.
Should be about a 15-yard penalty, so it'll be 4th and now 25 coming up for Sheldon. Looks like the officials are chatting and seeing what kind of penalty it should be, and indeed it will be a 15-yard penalty. So 4th and 25, Sheldon back all the way to the 13-yard line. Back to punt is Shado from the shadow of his own end zone. Back to return, Edie and Pluck. 4th and 25 here for Sheldon. 6-6 our score in quarter number 2. The punt is up, and it is a good punt, but actually going towards the sideline of South. It takes a Sheldon bounce out at about midfield as Edie did not even get the look to try to catch that one. And it'll be right at midfield. 1st and 10 there for Southridge.
So they caught the ball at the 40, and instead instead of being on Sheldon's 45, they'll start on the 50. So, I mean, give or take 5 yards. Nothing too much, nothing too drastic changes there. But if you're the Sheldon defense, got to beware. Bickler's pretty talented. He can throw the ball and he can run. Got to beware of the scrambles and also have some tight coverage in the secondary.
6-6 the score, 11:43 left here in the second quarter. Southridge ball at midfield. Bickler in the shotgun over to his right, the backup running back taken there on the handoff to Higgins. Goes up the middle, but not much room there. Gains a couple of yards before he's taken down by a couple of Sheldon defenders. In there on the stop was Austin Lasby. The gain of officially 3, 2nd and 7 coming up. By the way, in about 8 minutes or so, we'll send out to Matthew United Arena with Matt Tyra for Oregon volleyball. You can listen to Sheldon football on KWVA2 after that.
Welcome back, Matt Tyra.
2nd and 7. The handoff goes to the running back once again. That's Higgins. Breaks a tackle. Out across the 40. Has a first down. Taken out of the 35-yard line. A good gain there for Southridge. 1st and 10. Now deep into Sheldon territory.
Southridge continuing to making a statement. Being able to drive on Sheldon in a number of ways.
Looking to pull off an upset here in Sheldon. At Dennis Ludwig Stadium, a place that's seen a lot of wins lately, especially here at home. Sheldon great at home or away.
Great crowd tonight, too.
A very good crowd on hand here to take into their first game of the season. Handoff goes up the middle, and taken down after a gain of a few yards is Whitechap. Goes to about the 33-yard line. It'll be officially a gain of 4 yards. 2nd and 6 now coming up for Southridge. So if you want to stay listening to Sheldon football, you can go online to kwvaradio.org. Click the Listen Live tab, and then click on KWVA2. We'll be there throughout the entirety of this one. But about 8 minutes, we'll go to Sheldon. The Oregon volleyball throw over the middle here for Bickler, looking over for Edie. It's overthrown. They're almost picked off by Sheldon. On the coverage there was Ben Watson for the Irish. He almost became the receiver on that one. He was closer to the ball than Edie was.
That was great coverage by Watson. Was ahead of Edie on that crossing route. Had a better play at the ball. That's what Sheldon's going to need in the secondary because Bickler's been able to carve up the secondary so far.
3rd and 7. A big play for both sides here on this one. 10-20 left, 3rd and 6. Back to pass over the middle. It's completed there to the receiver, Sims. But he's taken down shy of the first down line at the 30-yard line. A gain of 3 on the crossing route. Now 4th and about 4 coming up. But manageable here as Southridge will go for it on 4th down. It'll be officially 4th and 5. Bickler in the shotgun. Looks to his side, getting the call from his head coach, Kevin Bickler. That is his uncle. Still peering over there. The crowd getting into it now as the line shifts a bit here for Southridge. Off to the right of Bickler is Nico Copy, but we have a timeout being called for by Sheldon. So on 4th and 5, Sheldon decides to take a timeout defensively. A big play in this one, 6-6 to score, 9:42 left. This could swing the momentum. This one could be a big score before halftime for either side as well.
That was a good timeout because, I mean, you don't really know what Southridge is going to do. They've shown that they'll punt with the quarterback, but they're also in that no man's land too. So they could, and they're at, it seems to be 4th and 5. So it might not be in a punt situation. That's a good timeout by Sheldon. They seem to have made a good defensive adjustment on this drive. It was a good timeout by them. Figure out what they're going to do. Plan for all that Southridge can throw at them.
4th and 5, 9:42 left here in the second quarter. 6-6 the score. A surprising low-scoring game so far here from Sheldon and Eugene, Oregon. Mark Randy and Colin Captain with you. A big play coming up. 4th and 5 for Southridge. At the 30-yard line, need to get to the 25 to continue this drive. Bickler in the shotgun. Off to his left is Copy. He takes it out, looking to throw over to the right side. Complete to Edie. No, he loses it. Down to the turf. A big hit there laid by the Sheldon defense. Looked like in there on the attempt there was Quaid to knock that one free. It looked like that was going to be a first down, but a big hit from Quaid knocks it loose. A turnover on downs for Southridge.
I'm not sure if he ever had control of that catch even before the hit mark. He had a first down if he was able to hold on to it, but certainly a nice hit. It did seem, though, that Edie just plain old dropped it.
So now 1st and 10 for Sheldon from the 30-yard line as they go from right to left for the first time this season. And the shotgun is Johnson Jr. His left is Folsom. Takes a snap and will hand it off to another. Folsom has some room to run, then met by a couple of tacklers for Southridge. Still running, but he's going backwards and sideways. He gained about 4 yards. It'll be 2nd and 6 coming up from the 34-yard line for Sheldon.
That's what Sheldon's got to do. They've had a lot of success with Folsom in running the ball. That'll certainly set up the rest of their plays if they establish the run, which I thought they were doing. They got away from it on the last drive.
2nd and 6 coming up here for Sheldon. From their own 34-yard line. And the shotgun again is Michael Johnson Jr. He's been there every single snap tonight. The handoff, or fake handoff, now a reverse, goes to the back of Kwanique, breaks a tackle, and is across the 35, spun down to the 36-yard line. Good defense again there from Southridge, sniffing that one out from the very beginning. Almost a tackle for loss way in the backfield as well.
Impressive showing by Southridge so far on defense. They ended up getting a couple yards, but still, that's a play designed to get some big yards, and they didn't get it. 3rd and 4, over to the right side. Rolling now is Johnson. Jr. Stepped up in the pocket, will run with it, and he's taken down. He breaks the tackle, still going, and he's going backwards now, taken down to the 30-yard line. A loss of 6 yards. 4th and 10 now coming up for Sheldon. Johnson Jr. looked to run at that one onto the far side, then the reverse field, but lost some yardage. To be going for it.
And 4th and long. The offense is out there for Sheldon still. And now the punt unit will come on for the Irish. Reminder in a couple minutes, we'll send them to Matt Knight Arena with Matt Tyra for Oregon volleyball. So they're after this punt here for Sheldon.
Disappointing drive there for Sheldon.
Pardon me, Colin. 4th and 9 here for the Irish. And you're right, that is disappointing. Now 7:50 left here in the first half. Still 6-6 our score. The snap, the punt is up from Shado. Back to return there is Pluck. And now Edie will come in and make the catch. A fair caught at the 43-yard line. That is where Southridge will begin their next drive. But for now, we're going to send it out to Matt Knight Arena with Matt Tyra for Oregon volleyball. Matt, go ahead and take it away here on KWVA Eugene 88.1 FM. We'll keep it here on KWVA2, listening to the Sheldon football on KWVA2. Mark Randy and Colin Catman with you. It is a 1st and 10 from the 43-yard line of the Southridge Skyhawks for the Southridge Skyhawks, looking to get a touchdown drive here, take a lead late in the first half. This is really the opposite of what we thought this game was going to be like so far.
It seems like Sheldon's trying to find their offensive identity right now. We haven't been able to tell what it is. We saw that they could make a big play, but they haven't done that at all, and the Southridge defense has really responded.
And the snap is fumbled by Bixley, goes back and picks it up behind the line of scrimmage. He was bluffing the handoff, I believe, to his running back. And then you had to pull it back at the last moment, but fumbled it. Got onto the turf. He fell, and it'll be a loss of about 5 yards, and they'll give it 6 yards. So 2nd and 16 now coming up. 6-6 the score here in Sheldon. 7:10 left in the first half. 2nd and 16, and they clear back to pass, looking over the middle, and it is overthrown. Looking for his man there. That was for Joshua Kahlo. Goes over his head, and it's incompletion. 3rd and 16 now coming up for Southridge.
Sheldon lucked out there. Bickler had Connor Vijaro wide open right down the middle. Picked the wrong guy at the right area.
Could have been a big gain there for Southridge. And now they're facing a 3rd and very long. 3rd and 16, the crowd getting into it here at Sheldon. 6-6 the score, 7 minutes left in the first half. It's been a low-scoring affair so far. Bickler back to pass, pump fakes, looking to the left side, fires out to his receiver on the flat. Caught there, but pushed out of bounds quickly was Fajardo. And it'll be 4th and long, still a gain of about a yard. It'll be 4th and now 15 coming up.
It's a nice play there. Yards after the catch have been big for Southridge so far, able to limit that wide receiver screen to a yard.
6-6 the score still. 4th and 15 Southridge going for it. At least they're showing it like they are. The offense out there, but we've seen Bickler punt it himself. Back to return looking for that is Sheldon. And now we have a stoppage here in play. False start called on Southridge. So 4th and 15, now 4th and 20. Another penalty for Southridge. That is their third tonight. 6:56 left. This is an important 7 minutes of football here. Sheldon going to get the ball back. It looks like the punt unit is on now for Southridge. If they can have a long scoring drive here, really take the momentum on their side into the halftime.
Or does it? I mean, Southridge, no one was expecting for them to play Sheldon this tough.
And the punt is blocked. The flag is down. Over to grab it, though, for Sheldon. That is Jack Folsom. He's running up with it taken down, but there is a flag down. It is currently Sheldon ball at the 23-yard line. And he was able to recover it. There is a flag down. We'll see what the call is here in a bit. It might be offsides, perhaps, on Sheldon. The punt was blocked, I believe, by Patrick Herbert. It was Folsom, the running back, that recovered it. And it looks like it's going to be called an illegal formation on Southridge. So the play stands. It blocks punts by Patrick Herbert. Recovery by Folsom. And it's Sheldon ball now at the 24-yard line. What a change in field position.
That's huge for Sheldon special teams. Give the offense a chance in Southridge territory. We'll see if Sheldon's able to find their offensive identity here.
So first and 10 for Sheldon from the 24-yard line. And it's from the Southridge 24. In the shotgun is Michael Johnson Jr. to the right. He's the backup running back, Jaron Bates, and he takes the hand, Noah Bluff. And he's going over to the left side of Johnson Jr. Runs over a tackler down to the 16-yard line. A gain of about 7 yards. It'll be second and about 3 coming up. That was a designed run. The blocker there was the running back, Banks. Johnson Jr. lowered the shoulder, ran right over a defender.
Little attitude there.
Wow.
A statement. Looked like he was running right out of bounds. Nope. Just laid down the shoulder.
Officially a gain of 6 yards. Second and 4 from the 18-yard line here for Sheldon. Trips right for the receivers. One out to the left. On the left side, that is Uta Maggio. Takes the hand off as the running back Banks. Cuts back, spins away from a tackler. Up the middle now he goes across the 15. And he has perhaps enough for a first down right at the line of scrimmage. And it will be a first down for Sheldon. So a gain of 4 yards exactly for Jaron Banks on the run. First and 10 from the 15 now for Sheldon. Trips right again here for the Irish, but it is a handoff, no part of me. Taken by Johnson Jr. again on the fake. He's going to be spun down way in the backfield. The whistle blown, but Johnson Jr. spun away from a tackler. I think that is forward progress. His momentum was stopped, so he's down for a sack, a loss of about 6 yards.
That's a good call, Mark. I mean, it looked like he was going nowhere. I seen it as the whistle blew. It seemed like the Southridge defender let him go, and that's why he got loose. I think it was a good call. And we'll see what Sheldon does here. They're kind of in that no man's land too. But are they at that point where they just say, let's take the points and kick a field goal? They're kind of far right now. So are they going for yardage or are they going for the big play here is the question.
Second and 15, 5 minutes left here in the first half. 6-6 the score. And now a flag thrown. And before the snap even starts, it'll be false start on Sheldon again. Another penalty on the Irish. That's number 5. And it's now going to be second and 20 from the 25-yard line. Need to get all the way to the 5. A 5-yard sack, a 5-yard penalty. Sheldon pushed way back now.
You just can't have that after a big play by your special teams. And penalty, a sack, not a good start.
A designed run here for Johnson. Here to the left side. A flag is down on the far side, and he's taken after a gain of about 3 yards, perhaps 4, but a flag down on the far sideline. Over near where the wide receiver Kwani Quaid was lined up. And it's going to be a penalty on Sheldon. Checking to see if Southridge will accept or decline the penalty. And I do think we'll see a decline by head coach Kevin Bickler. It was a gain of about 3, maybe 4 yards for Michael Johnson Jr. on the designed quarterback run. Onto the near side, a lead blocker was Jaron Banks, but not pick up too much. Still no decision yet on the penalty just yet. There's a legal formation on the offense on Sheldon, and the penalty has been declined. So there's the answer to that. It'll be now 3rd and about 17, perhaps 16 coming up here for Sheldon. 3rd and long. Got to get all the way to the 5-yard line from about the 21. In the shotgun is Michael Johnson Jr. Takes the snap, takes the handoff, looking to throw, setting up a screen. Pressure comes. He steps up the middle, breaks a tackle, still going. Flag is down, running out to the right side. Has some room to throw it off to the right side, looking for Kamani Coy. Caught inside the 15, pushed it around to the 10-yard line.
Might be coming back here, Mark.
Something out of nothing, though, for Michael Johnson Jr., and it is indeed coming back. A penalty on Sheldon, their 6th of the game. Pardon me, their 7th. It's really stacking up here for Sheldon. A lot on this drive alone. Through the last couple of plays.
Must be a big one, too, a hold.
There are 2 fouls on the offense. Ineligible down the field. Offense. Penalties are clock. Holding. Number 71. Offense.
So a holding and an eligible receiver for the offense. Only one can be accepted. The holding is accepted by Southridge. Sheldon back all the way to the 35-yard line on 3rd down. They got to get to the 5. 3rd and 30 coming up for Sheldon.
Got to try and get in field goal range here.
They do have a good kicker, Campbell Shado. He was an all-conference honoree on both the kicker and punter spots last year. 3rd and 30 from the 35. Alone to the backfield is the quarterback, Johnson Jr. Stepped up in the pocket, will run with it, and he's taken down for a sack. Behind the line of scrimmage, taking him down is Cade Hustler. 4th and about 33 coming up now for Sheldon. They will bring the punt unit on. Wisely bring on the punt unit. It is Sheldon.
There's no time for Johnson Jr. back there. The offensive line's got to step up. Every time he drops back, he's already under pressure. You can't generate any offense that way.
It'll be a punt here for Sheldon. Campbell Shado punt back to return once again like always. Pluck and Edie. 6-6 the score. 3:50 left here in the first half. A defensive battle so far here from Sheldon. Shado takes the snap. The flag is down, punts it high towards the goal line. Calling for the fair catch is Pluck, and he makes the grab at the 10. Taken down right there. But the flag back near the line of scrimmage here. I think this will go on Sheldon, perhaps. And indeed it will. The official chatting with the sideline here for the Southridge, seeing if they want to accept or decline the penalty. We might see a re-kick here for Sheldon. Because it was down to the 10-yard line. That's good field position defensively for the Irish. You might see Southridge try to get back a little bit more yards on that, and indeed we will. A re-punt coming up here for Sheldon. Push back even further. It was about a 4th and 33, and now add 5 more yards. 4th and 38. Penalty number 8, by the way, on the Irish. Those are just the accepted ones. There was at least one decline. Sheldon, they've been very sloppy. 6-6 the score. 3:37 left in the first quarter. 4th and 38. Now the punt from Shado is a high one. Fair catching signaling is Pluck, and he has it at about the 12-yard line. Almost or interference again on the catch by Sheldon. Nothing flagged. Edie came down with it. Or that was Pluck that came down with it. No, nothing is called. That could have easily been kick catch interference on Sheldon. They got lucky on that one.
That was surprising that they didn't call that. They definitely lucked out. They'll start at the 10. Or pardon me,
I think it'll be at about the 13-yard line. So after all that, the Skyhawks get about 3 yards.
Yep.
They originally had at the 10, and now they get a fair catch at the 13-yard line. So I guess worth it for Southridge. They get a couple yards. 3:30 left. We'll see if they can go the length of the field just about here. Close out the first half. And if they can take a lead in the halftime, that would put some scary thoughts in the Sheldon heads.
It's a big win for them. Even if they don't get any points on this drive, the fact that it's 6-6 at this point is a win for them nonetheless.
Bickler in the shotgun here for the Skyhawks. Takes it out, looking to throw over to the left side of the field. Fires over the middle. Caught there across the 30. A spin move by Pluck, taken out of the 35-yard line. There's Ashley Graham Hour there on the reception. A long completion there to Hour, all the way out to the 35-yard line. A gain of 22 yards on first down.
Saw that same throw to Hour earlier in the first quarter. I'll tell you, Bickler throws a nice ball, and he's finding the open receivers really well.
Now a hand off to the left side. It goes Sims. Catches the corner. Takes off across the tackle across the 45-yard line. A first down again here for Southridge. A gain of about 13 yards. Back-to-back first down plays for Southridge. They're moving near midfield now at the 48. And down the line quickly again is Southridge. In the shotgun is Stigler. Takes the snap and hands it off once again, this time to the backup running back. That is Poppy. Over to the far side, gets to across the 45-yard line before he's pushed out of bounds at about the 42-yard line. Not enough for the first down. No, yes, indeed, a 10-yard gain on first down. 3 straight first down plays for Southridge. They're now in Sheldon territory at the 42.
This is impressive, Mark. This offense is rolling. They're beating Sheldon in a number of ways. Certainly not what we expected.
3 minutes left. First and 10 for Southridge. Back to passes. Bick looking over the middle. And now he throws deep over the middle part of the field. And it is intercepted by Sheldon. Therefore, it is Ben Watson returning it to the 40-yard line. Has a blocker pushed out of bounds to the 45-yard line. Flags come flying on the return. It will be
a late hit.
A late hit, I do believe. The interception will stand, though, for Sheldon. Interception there for Ben Watson. The second of the game for Sheldon. The first for Watson. And a big move defensively there for the Irish to have the ball with 2:50 left.
Man, did Sheldon need that. The Southridge offense was rolling. Looked like they were going to get a score before the end of the half. Huge pick by Ben Watson. Overthrow there by Bickler. Maybe this is the momentum swing that Sheldon needed.
The ball was overthrown by Bickler. He had a man. He had an inside lane to his target, but just overthrew it, sailed over his head, and therefore it was Watson. And it will be a penalty on Sheldon on the late hit out of bounds, unsportsmanlike. And then a personal foul as well on Southridge. These might just cancel each other out.
Yeah.
And indeed they will. So first and 10 for Sheldon from about the 42-yard line. This is right where that play began for Southridge. It'll actually be back at the 32-yard line for.
First and 10 Irish at the 38.
They're moving it up a bit now to the 38-yard line. A little bit of confusion there down on the field. But first and 10 for Sheldon at the 38-yard line. They have 2:50 left, plenty of time to go down and score. This could be a big drive for them to get back in the end zone for the first time in quite some time.
Well, they need this, and I think the coaching staff knows they need this too to get a score going into the half, because it looked like Southridge was going to get that score, and then the overthrow and interception happened. It's where Michael Johnson Jr. can step up here, make his presence felt.
First and 10 for Sheldon from their own 38-yard line. Johnson Jr. in the shotgun, 3 receivers on the near side, 1 on the far side. And now a flag is thrown before the ball can be snapped. The false start on Sheldon. Another penalty on the Irish. That is number 10 in the first half.
Well, Mark, you brought it up before the game. The line was questionable coming into this game. They've had a holding, a number of false starts. That's something to clean up there on the Sheldon offense.
Now first and 15 from the 33-yard line for Sheldon. The shotgun once again here is Michael Johnson Jr. He takes the snap, and he'll fake the handoff, fire out to the left side of wide receiver, screens it up to Patrick Herb, picks up a blocker, and he's pushed out across the 40 before taken out of the 42-yard line. So a good gain on first and 15 of about 9 yards. That'll bring up seconds, and about 6 coming up now for the Sheldon Irish. And he's going to mark it a gain of 10, so second and 5 now for Sheldon. A lot of these throws for Johnson Jr. are simple throws to the outside, screen set up for the receivers and the running backs. Going to go downfield a couple times, but not too often so far here in the second quarter. Second and 5. And the snap here to Johnson Jr. And will pitch down to the right side to Folsom. Has some blockers across the midfield. Spins away, taken down to the 46-yard line of Southridge. First down for the Irish as the chains move. Now 2 minutes and 7 seconds left here in the first half.
Got to keep feeding Folsom. Every time they've given it to him, positive yardage. He's a playmaker in the wide open field. Got to keep feeding him the rock.
Folsom played behind running back Kenner Zanke last year, getting his go now as the number 1 running back for Sheldon. First and 10 in the Southridge territory at the 46-yard line. Johnson Jr. in the shotgun, takes the snap, and he'll take the handoff, take it himself off to the right side, trying to get the edge, but he's taken down, out of bounds, spun down, and the flag is down again at midfield. And they'll be holding on Sheldon. Penalty number 11 now for the Irish. It'll be a 10-yard penalty. It was a gain of nothing anyways for Sheldon, but they'll go back 10 more yards. Unless, of course, the head coach for Southridge, Bickler, decides to accept or decline the penalty. He will accept it and make it 1st and 20 to the 2nd and 10.
You can't have that, Mark. When all their plays seem to be towards the outside, you can't have those holding calls. You know, they have Johnson Jr. running outside left, outside right, and he screens. Got to let go of the lineman if you're on the O-line.
It's going to actually be a 12-yard penalty because it happened behind the line of scrimmage. So 1st and 22 for Sheldon, back in their own territory now at the 42-yard line. Looking to pass as Johnson Jr. Pressure comes, steps back, but now fires deep over to the right side. He has a man overthrown. Wyatt Seidel behind the defense. He would have roamed free into the end zone, but just over his head. Incompletion. 2nd and 22 coming up.
Seidel thought it was a sideline route. He seemed to be breaking there towards the 30. Johnson Jr. had him going straight down. Just some miscommunication there.
And they got lucky there. He got behind the defense by quite a bit. If he caught that, he would have ran into the end zone pretty easily. But instead, an incompletion. 2nd and 22. A minute 39 left here in the first half for Sheldon. Johnson Jr. in the shotgun. Clouds a couple times. Now takes the snap, takes the handoff, rolls out near side, looking to throw, sets his feet, now rushes back towards the middle, breaks from away from back, and now he'll run with himself to the 40-yard line, pushed out of bounds at the 45, a gain of about 3 yards. And Southridge not letting Johnson Jr. get to the outside at all. His athleticism really not on display so much so far today.
Well, the D-line's getting good penetration, and I mean, Johnson Jr. was looking deep there, but just didn't have the time. Got to credit Southridge and the pressure they're getting on the quarterback.
3rd and 19, a gain of 3 on that quarterback scramble by Johnson Jr. from the 45-yard line. The Irish, their offense has been sputtering under the number 1 dual threat quarterback in the nation, Michael Johnson Jr. 3rd and 19. Now the snap goes to Johnson, set up on screen to the far side, caught there by his receiver. That is Maggio taken across the 50 down to the 45-yard line. He lowers his shoulder, runs over a tackler. He gets back just past the original line of scrimmage. It will be now 9 yards to go into the first half for Sheldon. 4th and 9 coming up from the 45.
Interesting call here, what they want to do. They have a good punter, but you could also go for it.
And just a minute left now in the first half, the second quarter. They now have a timeout called by Sheldon and Josh Lyons. 4th and 9 from the Southridge 45 for Sheldon. They can either punt it, try to pin Southridge deep with a minute left in the first half. They can go for it and try to get a score before the first half and risk giving Southridge an opportunity to score as well before the first half.
I mean, I say you go for it just because we've seen that Southridge maybe doesn't have the kicker to kick a field goal. You can limit them to maybe the 30. We've seen Sheldon, little bend, don't break defense. So, given that Southridge is kind of limited in what they can do, they have to go for a touchdown. They can't kick a field goal. So, I say you might as well go for it, given their field position.
Looks like the punt unit is coming on, though, for the Irish. So, head coach Josh on his first game as head coach of the Irish, playing it safe. Back to return the punt here for Southridge is Michael Pluck, and Kevon Eby back to punt as well here for Sheldon is Campbell Shado. Now a whistle blown and the timeout called by Southridge.
Give some extra time to think about it.
6-6 the score. About a minute left here in the first half. Sheldon, they scored their touchdown back in the first quarter. They scored first, a 27-yard touchdown pass from Johnson to Sido. After that, an 8-yard run by the quarterback Bickler for the Southridge Skyhawks. After that, nothing for either side. 6-6 scores. Both extra points were missed as well. This has been a defensive battle, and both defenses have played really well, but the offense, they're sputtering right now. I think we're seeing, at least for Sheldon, getting used to some of the new weapons they do have. And I think the offensive line, that's been a struggle so far for the Irish.
Well, it's tough to generate any big plays if you're getting holding calls, if Johnson Jr. doesn't have time to assess the field and make the big throw. So I think it stems from the line, and that's the biggest part. And the line has the size. They just have to get the technical parts together.
So 4th and 9, Sheldon, the punt unit is out. Back to return Pluck and Edie. The punt is Shado for Sheldon. Punting from the 45 back near the 40 of Sheldon is Shado. His punt is towards the near side, towards Pluck, and it bounces at the 20-yard line and down by Sheldon at the 20. It was caught there by Burgess, down to the 20-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 20 for Southridge. 50.6 seconds left in the first half. We'll see what they can do offensively in that little time.
There was really no wrong decision there, whether you punt it or go for it. And I think Coach Lyons sees that the Southridge offense is good. They're able to get some yards. They can throw the ball. We've seen a couple overthrows by Bickler, but he has made some nice throws as well. He can get some yardage on his feet. So I think it is a good decision to put them back on their own 20, seeing how they have shown that they can drive the ball against this Sheldon defense.
1st and 10 for Southridge from their own 20-yard line. 6-6 the score. 50.6 left in the first half. Been a defensive battle so far here at Sheldon. The handoff goes to Sims onto the far side, tries to pick up a tackler or a blocker. Has it out across the 30-yard line. The first down taken out just past the 35-yard line. That's a gain of about 16 yards by Sims. Over to the 36-yard line. 1st and 10. The clock stops as the chains move. 1st and 10 coming up again here for Southridge.
That was a heady play by Sims. He even though he got the first down, he still ran out of bounds to stop the clock.
1st and 10 from the 36. Handoff again to Sims on the far side. Up the middle, has some room to the 50. Still going to the 40-yard line. Breaks the tackle down to the 40 or the 38-yard line. Another long run for Southridge. Now in Sheldon territory. 33 seconds left. The clock stops with the first down lines moving all the way down to the 37-yard line. Now the snap and a handoff up the middle this time to Copy, and he's taken that up the middle as he goes to the 32-yard line. Gain of about 5 yards or so, maybe a little bit less than that. Timeout called by Southridge.
Interesting. You'd expect sorry there, Mark, but you'd expect Southridge to throw the ball in this situation. And then the last couple drives, they've thrown the ball majority of the time as well, getting all their yards on the ground.
2 really good runs there by Sims on the far side. Got the corner and then just shut off the speed. He has been very good so far in this one for South. Look at his numbers from last year. He was just a sophomore last year, all Metro League third-team running back. He had 130 carries, 831 yards, 4 touchdowns. He had a game, in fact, at Liberty in Week 7 where he had 279 rushing yards with 2 touchdowns. He has the ability to break off big runs at any moment, showing that here on this drive.
Absolutely. And I think we've seen good play from both starting running backs. Folsom's been dangerous in the open field, and we've seen there by Sims on both of his runs. Pretty shifty in the open field.
And that last run was to Nico Copy, the running back as well. Got 5 yards, so 2nd and 5 coming up here for Southridge from the 32-yard line. 23.9 seconds left. 6-6 the score. Southridge, though, they're threatening in Sheldon territory. In the shotgun is the quarterback. That's Stickler. Now he looks to throw over the middle. Nothing wrong with it. In fact, over to the right side across the 30-yard line. Goes to the first down line near the 25. Pushed out of bounds. I think he has the first down by a yard. A gain of about 6 yards. Down to the 26. You have to move the change. They're saying 3rd down and very short coming up here for Bickler.
Something to note, Mark. You got Michael Johnson Jr. playing strong safety. Haven't seen him on the defensive end so far this game.
Playing center field the way back there here for Sheldon. 3rd and 1 for Southridge. It's not the Bickler looking to throw far side. Has a man wide open, and it's incomplete over the head of Michael Pluck. Bounced off of his helmet. Through his hands. Incomplete. Now 4th and 1 coming up. He was wide open on the flat on the far side.
Absolutely. Everything towards the end zone, though, for Southridge. There's no field goal in play here. And I think that's why you see Johnson Jr. back there. No touchdown defense.
Yeah, Johnson Jr. athletic as well, but also 6'3". Has the height to knock down a pass into the end zone. 4th and 1 from the 32-yard line. Over the 28-yard line here for Southridge. Back to pass. Bickler steps up in the box, looking to throw. Far side. Now he will run with it across the 25. Drifts a tackler down to the 20. Or past 20 down to about the 17-yard line. The clock's at 2.5 seconds. Has the first on the clock. Will stop as the chains are set. See Southridge try to spike this ball. The clock starts to roll. 1 second left, and it's spiked with 0.2 seconds left on the clock. Wow. Just in time. They'll have one more play to the end zone here for Southridge. Doesn't matter how much time, as long as there's not all zeros on the board, it's enough time for one final play. And they might attempt a field goal. On to kick, as we mentioned earlier, is Steele Peterson for Southridge. And the holder, Joshua Callow. Kicking it from about the 18-yard line. So it'll be a 35-yard field goal attempt. Timeout, though, called for the final time by Sheldon.
Coach line with the old
kicker bit here. Yeah. 6-6 to score, 0.2 seconds left in the first half. What a defensive battle this has been so far. It'll be a 35-yard field goal attempt here for Steele Peterson and the Southridge special teams unit. They try to take a lead here at half, 6-6 currently. This has been a surprising turn of events so far. And at halftime, we'll take a break, and you will hear from Cameron Derby back in the KWVA studios, give you an update on Oregon volleyball, on everything going on across our airwaves, and also everything involving Oregon, as also some Pac-12 scores in football and volleyball. It's coming up after we discuss halftime a bit here from Sheldon High School. Field goal attempt here, the final play of the first half. 35-yarder from Steele Peterson. Missed an extra point earlier in this one. The hold is there. The kick is up, and it is wide left, but a flag is down on the field at the line of scrimmage. I think this is going to be on Southridge. And indeed, it is a false start. So now it'll be moved back even further. Instead of a 35-yard kick, it'll be a 40-yard kick if they decide to even go that route anymore. That kick was wide left. I don't even think it had the distance either towards the goalposts.
I don't see why you kick it here. You have a quarterback who has a strong arm. Just fire it up to the end zone. You only got, on the clock it says 0, but 0.2.
Back to kick a 40-yard attempt is Steele Peterson. Hold is Joshua Callow. The snap down, the hold is there, the kick is up, and I think Sean got a fingertip on it. It is off to the right, no good. And that'll do it here for the first half. A missed 40-yard field goal by Southridge and Steele Peterson. And we go to halftime tied at 6. Really a wild first half. 2 interceptions for Sheldon. They score first, but the offense are tied at halftime. What's gone wrong for Sheldon so far?
Well, I think it's been a combination of Southridge playing well on defense. I think it's Sheldon still trying to find who they are on offense, and also the offensive line has been an issue. You don't want to harp on them too much, but it's been a problem. A lot of false starts. You got some holding, some crucial holding calls. You know, especially on that blocked punt. They had great field position in the Southridge zone, and just one penalty after another pushed them back all the way to the 40 at one point. They started on like 25. So the line has been an issue. They haven't been able to open up the field like we thought they were after that first drive. So, and then there was the miscommunication on the deep route. So it's been a number of things, but I think mostly it's been just the problems on the line. Haven't really been able to get things going. I think you have to run the ball more. I think Folsom's proved that he can get some yardage on the ground. I know you have an athletic quarterback and need to take advantage, but you're also getting a lot of success on the ground with the running back. You gotta give Folsom the rock a little bit more.
6-6 at halftime. It's been an interesting game so far. Sheldon scored their first score of the game, the first score of the season back in the first quarter. A 27-yard touchdown pass from Johnson to Noah Seidel. After that, the very next drive, a response from Southridge, 8-yard run on the quarterback scramble by Bickler that tied it up at 6. Both teams missed their extra points. After that, and no scores since then. 2 interceptions for Sheldon. It's been a defensive battle. Sheldon 2 turnovers forced, and they've not been able to capitalize. No points off turnovers so far for Sheldon. Actually, pardon me, they do have all their points off turnovers. That 95-yard touchdown drive was after that interception by the Irish. But overall, they haven't been able to take advantage too often of their defense, really stepping up and doing really good things. Sheldon looking to get back to what we expected from them, what we've seen in the last 10 years for the Irish. It's been high offense, octane scoring off the hinges for Sheldon. Just 6 points in the first half. I think we'll see some adjustment at halftime. It's them coming back with a vengeance in the second half.
Absolutely. And there's a lot of room for improvement. They've showed that they can make some big plays. Just a couple of adjustments. They're figuring things out. And this is the start of the Josh Line era. He wants to get things going, too. So there's a lot of hype coming in. Just get the first half jitters out of the way, maybe. Make some adjustments in the second half. It'll be interesting to see.
All right, that'll do it here for our discussion. We'll send it to a break. We'll come back after a break. We'll give you the second half, but for now, we'll go into the studios with a sports discovery with Cameron Derby right here on KWVA2.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your Sheldon colleagues, David. University Sheldon colleagues are the 2017 state champions.
Welcome back to Sheldon High School. 6-6 at halftime. The Sheldon Irish battling the Southridge Falcons. It's been a defensive affair so far through the first 2 quarters of this one. Mark Randy and Colin Catman with you here live from Dennis Ludwig Stadium. This has been an interesting game so far. We've seen Sheldon win the turnover battle, 2 interceptions. They have not thrown an interception or fumble so far on their side, but the penalties are 11 so far in the first half. That has evened out that sort of this game. 6-6 so far in this one. Sheldon, they really shoot themselves in the foot quite often with those penalties.
Well, normally penalties won't affect a team. I mean, they will, but not to the extent that the penalties have affected the offensive unit for Sheldon tonight. They do have to get that under control. It's killed them, and it's been drive killers, quite frankly. I mean, we mentioned it before going into the half. They had great field position on Southridge 20 after the block punt. A couple holdings, false starts, ended up back at the 40, weren't able to recover from that. It's things like that that have killed their drives. Michael Johnson Jr. doesn't have much time to throw the ball when he does step back. So some of it starts with the line. I think they need to start giving Folsom some more carries. He's been effective when he's gotten the ball. So maybe run the ball a little bit more. If the line's not ready for pass protection, run it a little bit more. It's been effective for him. So I think that's something to watch for going into the second half.
I think you can say the same thing as well for Southridge, especially in that last drive when they did stall out eventually. They missed a field goal to close out that first half. A lot of really nice runs from Blake Sims in the first half. Also, you see some of the backups getting on the action. Nico Copy as well. This has been a run-dominant game. Not too many passes through the air that we've seen completed. Have seen some here and there, but it's been a run game for both sides. So I'll see more of that in the second half.
Well, and both teams can throw the ball when they do. I mean, we've seen Bickler overthrow a couple receivers. They turn out to be interceptions, but some of his throws are tight. They're crisp. They're on the money. So he can throw the ball, and he will scramble and get some yardage, too. We've seen that. That's been Southridge's only touchdown. A run from Bickler into the end zone. So that's something to watch out. Both these offenses can do both things pretty well. So what they choose to do will be the interesting thing because, for Southridge, passing's been effective, and then they've run it, and that's been effective. But for Sheldon, it just seems to have been the running that's been effective. But we've seen the potential for them to throw the ball. So it'll be interesting to see what both teams do here in the second half on offense.
So halftime here at Sheldon High School, 6-6 the score. The Irish that were in the quarterfinals of the state playoffs a year ago versus Southridge. They were just a season ago. They won just 2 games. They were struggling 2-8 overall. They made it to the playoffs as they were one of the last teams in, and they lost in the first round. They got beat pretty quickly in that first round matchup versus the number 1 seed, the eventual state champs, West Lynn. They lost in that one 55-7. So this is a team on opposite sides of the spectrum coming into this game, but we've seen a lot of improvement, I think, from Southridge from the offseason. Also, Sheldon, there are a lot of new guys coming into this program. And usually, when you see new faces, it's from the JV level that you see come in. Not so much for Sheldon this year. You've seen talent come in from California, from Florida, from all over the country because of the coaching staff at the University of Oregon. That has to be a factor into this as well.
Well, yeah, and you got players that maybe are a different skill set than what the offense was tailored to before. Michael Johnson Jr. can do so many things. So I think they're still figuring that out. They're also, Sheldon's also missing Raymond Woody. I'm sure that's been big for him. We weren't able to see him in game action, so it's tough to base this team off of what they look like with him versus what they look like without him. But given his talent, his ranking, everything that we know about him coming in, they're certainly missing him right now. But yeah, Sheldon, I think they're still figuring out what works for them on offense. But, something that goes unnoticed, you also got another coach over there starting his first season as the head coach for Southridge. It's a great start for him. To be tied 6-6 going into the second half against one of the state's best teams coming in. Southridge has come to play, and it is truly impressive.
Some of those scores from across our networks here at KWVA, 16-6. South Eugene there in front up in Portland. The good game there for them. And then also in Thurston, the Colts, they lead Ridgeview 34-7 at halftime. 4 touchdowns for Preston Fisher in the first half. Also Trevor Duran, a pick 6
So this is a couple other teams in our area here in Eugene and Springfield that are winning, but Sheldon tied 6-6 at halftime. See if they come out in the second half and just get on the board quickly. They will take the ball for the first drive of the second half. They kick off to open up this ball game. They're currently out on the far side of the field in the end zone, talking along with each other. You see head coach Josh Stein shoving some of his guys, getting them fired up, getting them ready for this second half of this one. Sheldon looking to come, I think, a touchdown drive here. The first drive, give them a lot of confidence going forward. This is a very important first drive of this second half for Sheldon.
Yeah, absolutely, and this is where they set the tone. This is where they flex their muscles and show Southridge and show these fans here that this is why they were one of the best teams in the state coming into the season. Because so far, you can't tell if they're playing down to Southridge or Southridge has just come to play. And I think it's more of the second than it is the first. So they need to respond to the energy that Southridge has brought and start showing the talent. But again, a lot of it has to start at the offensive line. Got to limit the penalties. The defense we've seen has kind of been bend, don't break. And I think that works, especially for Southridge, seeing how we've seen now 3 times Southridge can't kick a field goal. And though the last 2 were kind of far field goals, they haven't been able to prove that they can. So the bend, don't break has worked for them. Not too much to fix on the defense. I guess maybe clog up the running lanes a little bit more. But on offense, they need this.
They really do, and they're going to take the field here out in front of us right now. Get the second half underway, 50 seconds left on the clock. Ready to get half number 2 underway. Warming up on the sideline right now is the quarterback, Michael Johnson Jr. We've seen him try to run a lot so far in this one. The pressure has gotten to him quickly, trying to get to the outside, but credit the defense of this other team as well, getting contained on the far sidelines, not letting him get into space. He's not only a thrower, a big body, but he is athletic, can run. He can really fly down the sidelines. Credit the defense for not letting him get any room on the sideline.
Well, that's what's been impressive is that Southridge gets the pressure. And normally, you see it at all levels. You can get pressure, but that's when the quarterback escapes. And that's even the hard part that college teams and pro teams have. They cannot contain the quarterback after they pressure him. Southridge has been able to do that. Their corners have been pretty smart in breaking off their receivers and getting to Michael Johnson Jr. The linebackers have been there. So it's just been solid play in general by the defense. It really is impressive that they're able to get the pressure from the D-line, and then the linebackers and corners facilitate as well.
Sheldon lining up to take this kickoff back to return for the Irish. A couple of guys back there. Kamani Quaid along with Matthew Burgess. And we'll see the Southridge Skyhawk kick things off. Set to kick things off is Nathan Mercer, one of the kickers on this team here for Southridge. 6-6 the score. Beginning quarter number 3, half number 2. Both teams, they missed an extra point. We're tied at 6. That could be a big factor in this game towards the end. Another one of those bluffs there from the kicking team of Southridge. Run the ball quickly and then retreat. Put the ball back on the tee. Here's Mercer. You hear the crowd chanting, "Here we go, Irish," looking to will their Irish to victory here in week number 1 of high school football action. The kick is off now from Mercer. It's a deep one over to the near side, taken by Sheldon, and that is taken there by Burgess. Has a lane to 20 to 30, going to the 40, has some room to run, across midfield, 1 man to beat, all the way, a touchdown for Burgess. 90 yards, Sheldon, just like that, they have a lead, a kickoff return. 12-6 Sheldon, the crowd back on their feet here in Sheldon.
Well, that's how you make a statement.
Wow.
We thought they'd do it on offense. They got started early.
What a shot in the arm that was for Sheldon. Matthew Burgess. What a run. Picked up a couple blocks on the sideline. He was gone. 1 man. He blew right past him all the way for a 90-yard kickoff return. Now will Sheldon kick the field goal, kick the extra point, or go for the kicker. Shado was out there, but the rest of the line taking a long time to get up there. Now they'll sprint to the line to avoid a delay of game penalty. First score since the first quarter for Sheldon. A kickoff return touchdown for Matthew Burgess. The hold is there, the kick is up, and it is straight through the uprights. 13-6 Sheldon, just like that. 15 seconds into the second half. Sheldon, they have their second lead of the game.
Matthew Burgess getting the party started early. We talked about Sheldon needing to make a statement coming out of the half. And I mean, I don't think, other than a big throw on offense to start the half, I guess a kick return is the only thing that can top it.
That is a dream start to this half for Sheldon, just what they needed, just what the doctor ordered for Sheldon. Now they'll go back on the defense side of the ball, where they have been very good so far in this one. 2 interceptions, one by Ben Watson for the Irish, and then also one by Uta Maggio back in the first quarter, the first half, both those coming for Sheldon. It's 13-6, Sheldon in front now. It's up to the Southridge offense. One that they gave a touchdown in the first quarter. They came back immediately, responsible touchdown of their own to tie it up. See that happens again here in this third quarter with their offense back out on the field.
It'll be interesting to see what kind of Sheldon defense we see coming out of the half. Are we going to see more of the bend, don't break, give up some yardage, and then lock down once they're in their own zone, or are they going to stuff Southridge right off the bat? It'll be interesting to see.
Set to kick things off is Campbell Shado for the Irish. Back to return, Gluck along with Edie. 13-6, Sheldon in front, 15 seconds into the second half. Now the kick is off, and it is a deep one over the head of Edie, and it goes out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So a good kick there from the All-State honorable mention a year ago, Campbell Shado. And it'll be 1st and 10 from the 20 for Southridge. They begin their first drive of half number 2. We talked about it before this second half began. Run game working well for both sides. I expect some more carries for Blake Sims. He ended the second half really well. A lot of rushing yards towards the end on that final drive. But also we've seen the ability of Bickler, the 6'7" senior quarterback, to throw over the top of the defense a little bit. Has been off with his throws for 2 interceptions, but there is a threat downfield with Kevon Edie as well.
Well, and we've seen he's been able to tuck it and run, too, for some good yardage.
13-6, Sheldon in front, 1st and 10 from the 20 for Southridge. And it goes a handoff to Sims up the middle, breaks to the outside now, jukes away from a tackle, trying to get the edge, and he has it now, gets a couple of yards where he's met by a wall of defenders for Sheldon. Gain of a couple yards in there on the tackle for the Irish. And that was Ben Watson. Also the interception in this one, picks up a tackle there. Gain of about 4, 2nd and 6 coming up now from the 24-yard line. Bickler in the shotgun off to his left, the running back Sims, who just took that last carry. 3 receivers on the near side, and he looks to throw. Says up quickly to the left side, caught by Edie on the screen. Gets to the outside of the 30, jukes away from a tackler across the 35, taken down to the 38-yard line. A first down. A gain of about 14 yards there on 2nd and 6. Kalani Quaid there in on the tackle for the Irish, but a good play quickly to the outside, an easy throw there from Bickler.
Kind of been what we've been seeing from Southridge, these dink and dunk throws, getting yardage.
1st and 10 from the 38. Now the handoff to Sims, has some room across the 45, taken down just shy of the first down line of the 47-yard line. They're going to go actually the 46, 2 yards shy of the first down. 2nd and 8 coming up, 2nd and 8, pardon me, an 8-yard run on first down. And the shotgun again is Bickler. Off to his left is his running back. 2nd and 2, 13-6, Sheldon in front here, 10.5 left in quarter number 3. Bickler ready to go. He takes the snap, looks to pass near side. Caught there by Pluck, and he breaks a tackle across the 50. Spun down, though. A nice tackle there from behind by Kamani Quaid. It looked like he did spring through the tackle, but Quaid held onto his leg continuously and then yanked it out from underneath him. It is enough for the first down, though, across the 50 to the 48 of Sheldon.
Seems to be the bend, don't break. They've given up some yardage here to start the second half on defense. Kind of more of the same from the first half.
13-6, Sheldon. The handoff goes to Sims up the middle from the 48-yard line. He has not much room to run. A couple of yards, perhaps, to about the 46. That'll be a gain of a yard, maybe a yard and a half. 2nd and long coming up now for the Southridge offense. They're now in Sheldon territory. They're looking to tie this game up. Again, they did that back in the first half at 6. Now down by 7, though, after the kickoff return by Nathan Burgess. It'll be officially 2nd and 9, a gain of 1 yard to the 47-yard line. Now the snap to Bickler, looking to the left side, fires deep, looking for his man. That is Graham Auer, but it is incomplete. On the coverage there for Sheldon was Carter Hellickson. Actually, that was Ben Watson, pardon me, over there on the far side. Good coverage there for me as an interception tackle on this drive. Now good coverage there. Now 3rd and 9 coming up from the 47-yard line of Sheldon for Southridge.
It's part of that no man's land territory where you don't know if Southridge will go for it or have Bickler punt it.
3rd and 9. Bickler in the shotgun takes the snap, looking to the left side. Now a couple in the pocket. The pressure comes, and he has some movement across the 40, and he has the first down by a yard. Met though immediately after that by a tackler for Sheldon. Good hit there as well by the Irish. It is a first down though. It looked like that was Zach Filippo there on the stop. He'll be subbed out now. 1st and 10 though, a good run on 3rd and 9 by Bickler. Now the handoff goes up the middle. Taken down to the backfield is Jeffrey Higgins. What a move there in the backfield by the Sheldon defenders. Can't quite see who that was. They got the tackle back there.
2nd down, 15.
That was a great play. They've been having success running the ball. Able to get in the backfield and stuff it immediately.
Loss of 5 yards, 2nd and 15. Back to pass. Bickler set on the pocket. Now pressure comes, and he has. We're going to run again across the 35, and is met by 3 different Irish, taken down just across the 35-yard line. It's a good gain of about 8 yards or so, but now 3rd and still long coming up after that loss of 5 yards on the last run play. So it'll be about 3rd and 7 now after that 8-yard gain from about the 34-yard line. A big play for both sides. We will likely see Southridge go for it here, though, if they don't get it, though. In the shotgun is Bickler. To the left is Jeffrey Higgins of him. Now he's going to line up as an extra man on the end of that line, but coming down the backfield is the wide receiver, Nathan Whitechap. He set up to the right of Bickler and takes the hand up to the left side, and he has room to run out. Breaks about 3 from a tackle across the 30, taken on near the first down line. I don't think he has enough. I think it will be a 4th down and a couple of yards. Well, we'll likely see Southridge go for it here, but that was a good move there by Whitechap. He was almost taken out of the backfield by a couple of Sheldon defenders.
Definitely very shifty. And again, we've seen the success on the ground.
4th and 2 from the 29-yard line. 7.5 left here in the 3rd quarter. 13-6 Irish in front of the Skyhawks. Under center now is Bickler for the first time tonight. He'll go up the middle on a quarterback keeper, and he spins away, pushes more for the first down. He was stopped immediately, then spun off the pile, fell forward for a 4th down conversion. First down for Southridge. What a move there by the 6'7" senior quarterback, Bradley Bickler.
Mark, I think Whitechap actually pushed him there, got him that second effort. He was stuffed at first, but one of his teammates, and I think it was Whitechap, got him that first.
1st and 10 from the 26, back to pass. Bickler now looks to run. The pressure comes up, and he is going to break free somehow, steering on the far side. Looks to get the edge, and he's taken down near the line of scrimmage. I think he gets about a yard or so. That's great work, though, by Bickler to not lose anything. He was dead to right, so about 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Got to respect his run game. That was great. It was a great escape there. He's had some good escapability throughout the game. He's definitely proven himself on the ground.
2nd and 8. Gain of 2 officially for Bickler. Now he has the snap, takes the handoff to Sims, and he's met immediately at the line of scrimmage and thrown down. Austin Lasby just picked him up and threw him to the ground there. Wow. Lasby, 6'1", 300-pounder, just flung the much smaller 162-pound Blake Sims to the ground. 3rd and 9, a loss of a yard there on that run. Another long 3rd down here for Southridge. They converted on a run by Bickler last time. Now he looks to the sideline. In the shotgun off to the left is Jeffrey Higgins. Now in motion he goes. Part of that is Copy now in the backfield for Southridge. Looking to pass is Bickler. Looking to open the middle. Fires deep to the right side. Has a man caught inside the 10. There on the reception, it's Graham Auer. 1st and goal, a 3rd and 9 conversion again on the drive for Southridge. What a pass and catch by the Skyhawks.
One of those pretty throws by Bickler. He seemed to be having trouble with those deep out patterns. Dropped an absolute dime there for Auer.
1st and goal from the 9. South looking to respond with a touchdown of their own. Down by 7. 5:58 left here in the 3rd quarter. Under center again is Bingley. Hands the hand up to Sims. Far side picks up a block. Outside now. He's going to be met immediately. Breaking free of the block there was a Sheldon defender on the far side. It looked like that was Ben Watson again there on the far side that broke free from his blocker and then made the tackle. Injured on the play a bit for Sheldon is Patrick Herbert, coming off limping a bit. Now he's rushing to the sideline. It looks like he is okay. It's a bit of a limp there on his stride. Bent over a bit on the sideline. 2nd and goal from the 6-yard line here for Skyhawks. Up the middle, the handoff goes to Sims. Not into the end zone, though. Into the 5-yard line. Taken down. It'll be 3rd and short coming up. Goal to go. About a couple yards shy of the end zone was Sims.
Got to contain Bickler here. This is where he got his touchdown last time in this territory. Got to be able to contain him.
It's officially 3rd and goal from one. Bickler under center again. And he goes up the middle, and he's into the end zone. A touchdown. And they're ruling the ball is out, but the ruling on the field is a touchdown.
There's a flag.
The Sheldon sideline not happy. There was a flag down way beyond the line of scrimmage. And I don't know what they're ruling here.
Sideline infraction.
And they're ruling it's a sideline infraction on the Sheldon Irish. Unhappy with that ruling. They were up onto the field and screaming after it was called a touchdown, not a fumble. I didn't quite see the fumble myself, but it is a touchdown, and now the extra point, or perhaps going for 2, perhaps, is Southridge. Bickler is still out there. It's currently...
I don't think the scorekeeper's awarded the touchdown yet. And no one on the Southridge sideline has let the ref know about it.
I think we're seeing the Southridge Falcons or the Skyhawks go for it here. 2-point conversion coming up. Throw over the right side quickly, looking for his man. It's picked off in the end zone by Sheldon. Intended receiver was plucked, but it's picked off there on the near side by Sheldon. Taken away there by Jack Folsom. So the 2-point conversion is no good. Scoreboard still says 13-6.
Got to award that touchdown.
It is 13-12, and now they do update. 13-12 the score. But a lead for Sheldon, the 2-point conversion, no good. Intercepted in the end zone on the 2-point conversion there by the Sheldon defense. That was Jack Folsom there on the interception, the twin brother of the running back, Zach Folsom. So 1-point lead for Sheldon. That's an interesting decision there. I think I like the call, trying to take a lead, given that you missed an extra point earlier in this game, but just tough luck there. The fade pattern a bit too underthrown on that one by Bickler.
I agree. And they had shown Bickler has been tough to contain. I don't know why they don't maybe have a few crossing routes and then a design quarterback draw or something like that, because Sheldon hasn't been able to stop that fade route. We haven't seen many throws where Bickler has been able to prove his ability to throw those deep out patterns, even though he did on this drive set up that one. But he's been picked off twice trying to throw that same route. I don't know if that was the best call.
13-12, Sheldon, 5 minutes left here in the 3rd quarter. And it's an onside kick here for Southridge, and I think they fell on it, but they're going to be a flag out. As I think they're going to rule that Southridge, Sheldon even got it anyways, but they're going to rule that Southridge touched the ball before it went 10 yards. That's where the little bluff comes in for Southridge. They did it twice, didn't get out and kick it. This time they kick it, roll it forward. They have a bunch of players run out past the ball, try to block the Sheldon defenders, try to pick it up, but they did touch it before it got past 10 yards. Sheldon picked it up anyways. It will be a penalty on Southridge, and Sheldon have good field position at about midfield currently. Well, the penalty is, of course, on Southridge, and it will be Sheldon football from Southridge territory. I'm not quite sure exactly where just yet.
I think that's what head coach Josh Lyon was just asking the referee. Wasn't sure about the call exactly, if they were going to award the positioning or where they were going to judge it from.
Looks like they're going to put him right at the 49-yard line of Southridge. And now they're moving up forward for the penalty, I do believe. Way up, all the way down to the 34-yard line. The penalty adds a lot of yards for Sheldon. So they have a 1st and 10 from the Southridge 34-yard line looking to get up by 2 scores potentially, up by 1 right now. They could go for 2 if necessary and go up by 9 if they do get into the end zone.
It'll be interesting to see if they want to start this drive off with the run. Establish the running game, seeing how they haven't had an offensive drive yet to start the second half. And we've got 4 minutes, 54 seconds on the clock.
Watch out for the long ball here. Johnson takes the snap, but it is a keeper. Up the middle, has some room to run across the 25 to the outside. 20, 15, 10, 5. He leaps to the end zone, pushed out of bounds at the 1. A 33-yard run, first and goal from the 1-yard line. A big hit, and Johnson is limping a bit now back to the line. I think he's fairing that left leg a bit, but he is okay staying in the game. Rolling it from the 2-yard line, first and goal. Sheldon back to the line quickly in the shotgun. Johnson takes himself up the middle, breaks free from a tackle into the end zone, a touchdown. Michael Johnson Jr., his first touchdown of his Sheldon career, the first of likely many. Sheldon up by 7 again, 19-12. 4:42 left in the third quarter.
You were just wondering when Michael Johnson Jr. would arrive. And on his first drive of the second half, he makes his presence felt. You were just waiting on him to break one. Nearly had a touchdown, finishes his big run. There's the number 1 dual threat quarterback in the country.
On to attempt the extra point is Campbell Shadow. The kick is up, and it is straight through the uprights. An 8-point lead for Sheldon, 20-12. 4:42 left in the third quarter. That looked more like the Sheldon offense that we're used to seeing the last 3 years for the Irish. They get a kickoff return and then a long run. They punched it in with Johnson Jr. And you not only see the speed on that first or on the 33-yard run, you see the power up the middle on that 2-yard touchdown run as well.
Absolutely. He flashed the speed, flashed the strength, and he showed the strength even on that long run. He laid down a shoulder, wasn't going to run out or try to jump over and reach the ball over the pylon. He laid down the shoulder, was going for the dramatic touchdown. But got to give credit to the offensive line. We said that they were having some troubles. They got Johnson the space he needed to get that big run and the touchdown. Got to give him credit.
Halftime adjustments for Sheldon seem like to be paying off so far in this one for the Irish. They have an 8-point lead, 20-12 to score. Each time Sheldon has scored in this one, Southridge, they've come back and immediately done to see if they can do it again here for a third time in this one.
I thought that was impressive that after the kickoff return touchdown that Southridge was able to come right back and answer with a touchdown themselves.
It was a long 80-yard touchdown drive capped off by a 2-yard run by Bickler, the quarterback. Back to return, Edie and a pluck to kick, Shadow. His kick is high and it's a deep one, but now the whistles are blowing before the kick was even out of the air. A flag, and it's offsides on Sheldon on a kickoff. And that for Sheldon is penalty number 13. That'll move them back 5 yards. They'll kick it again from even further back. Now from the 35 instead of the 40. (20-12). Sheldon in front of the offense. They've scored 14 of their 20 here in the third quarter. So 4:42 left in the third quarter. Only 6 points the first half of this game for each side. So to kick off again is Shadow. Back to return, Pluck and Edie. The crowd into it again here at Sheldon. The students on their feet off to our left. Shadow's kick from the 35 at the deep one. Once again, Edie back to the 5, takes it there, and a return it to the 20 now, and he breaks free from one tackle, and he's pushed up forward across the 30-yard line to the 31. 21 yards there for Edie. First 10-10 Southridge from the 31-yard line. That's how they begin their second drive of the second half.
Expect to see a lot of running for Southridge on this drive. A few throws. Bickler's been able to show off his arm a little bit, showed it off on that last drive. Sheldon's got to respect the run. They got to find a way to contain Bickler too. He's gotten first downs on third and long situations with his feet. They got to be able to contain him.
4:36 left here in the third quarter. 20-12. Sheldon in front. Out of the shotgun is Bickler. To his right is his backup running back,
Got a
Jeffrey
false
Higgins,
start.
but we have a false start now. Good eyes there, Colin. A false start on Southridge. Move them back 5 yards, 1st and 15 now coming up from the 26. The 2 touchdown drives here for Southridge in this game. Their one way back in the first quarter was 76 yards. Their last one, 80 yards. Looking for 70-yard one here. The handoff goes up the middle. That's to Higgins, and he's up the line, but taken out immediately by a couple of Sheldon defenders. And there on the stop for Sheldon was Austin Lasby. Calls his name a lot in this one. He's been good for the Irish. A gain of a couple yards. It'll be seconds at about 14 now for Southridge. Now looking to fire left side, setting up a screen. A bit too far in front, though, was the throw from Bickler. Higgins could not catch it in time, and he came tumbling to the ground after he tipped it off his fingertips. And a Sheldon defender is down on the far sideline. I can't quite get a read on that. That is. Maggio down there on the far sideline for the Irish. Now he's up on his back, and now lays back down on his back. It is his right leg. I think this is the cramp, though.
Yeah.
Getting stretched out by a tree under there. I think this is nothing serious for Maggio. It will be 3rd and 14 after Maggio gets all sorted out, gets all stretched out with that cramp on the far sideline. He was in coverage near that sideline when the throw was intended for Higgins. It fell incomplete, not because of the coverage, but because the pass from Victor was too far in front. Another opportunity to become at least a decent gain, make this a little bit more manageable on 3rd down for Southridge.
This is something we haven't seen from the Sheldon defense since maybe the first drive of the game, where they haven't given up a ton of yardage to start the drive. And Maggio is back on his feet running to the sideline.
It doesn't look like it is a cramp, and he will check out of the game at least for a play or two now. It's all stretched out and back, ready to go on the Sheldon sideline. 3rd and 14, 4:08 left here in the 3rd quarter. Sheldon in front by 8, 20-12 the score here. Week 1 of high school football in the state of Oregon. A big play here for Southridge. At least need to get a few yards to make the manageable 4th down, potentially, if they want to go for it in Sheldon territory, or pardon me, in their own territory. 3rd and 14 in the shotgun. Bickler off to his left. His running back, Blake Sims. Facing handoff, looks to throw on the far side. Hits as he's thrown, fires it, but not nearly far, and I think complete. Looking for Connor McLean. But in there on the pressure for Sheldon was Oren Patu. He hit Bickler as he fired that one, made that one a tough throw for the quarterback.
It's been impressive pressure from Sheldon on this drive, or in this sequence. Something that they haven't been able to do much during this game.
Now 4th and 14, the offense out there, but we've seen this before. It looks like we will see Southridge punt spun away, I would assume. Back to return the punt for Sheldon is Kamani Quaid. Bickler in the shotgun. Now he steps back a bit. Not quite in punt formation yet, though. And he's not going to go back to punt. He's going to stay in the shotgun here for Southridge. 4th and 14. He takes a snap. It's a high one, but a false start. The flag flies. It'll be a loss of 5 yards again. Now 4th and 19 for Southridge. They'll be pushed all the way back to the 22-yard line. Now this drive began on their 31. They've lost 9 yards overall this drive. Now they will bring on the punt formation, the punt unit as a whole. Bickler back to punt, but the rest of the blockers up there up front, along with the gunners on each side. Back to return again is Kamani Quaid for the Irish. The snap is there, and the punt from Bickler is blocked again in the end zone, and falling on it for Sheldon. It's a touchdown! There to recover is Matthew Burgess again, a special teams touchdown for Sheldon. And they are on front again, 26-12 Sheldon. A kick-out return and a blocked punt for touchdown Sheldon. They are rolling here in the second half.
A special team specialist, Matthew Burgess, getting it done on both ends, returning and blocking. That's the second blocked punt of the game for Sheldon. Special teams getting it done.
What a turn of events here for the Sheldon Irish. A kickoff return and a blocked punt for a touchdown. On to attempt the extra point for the Irish is Campbell Shado. 26-12. This was a 6-6 tie at halftime. We're still 4 minutes left in the third quarter. The kick is up and straight to the uprights for Shado. 27-12 the score. Sheldon in front here in the third quarter. They've scored 21 points. They have one offensive drive so far in this third quarter.
You were wondering if it would be the offense that'd get it going, though they did look really good on their one drive. You got to get it done on special teams, too. I mean, in today's day and age in football, it kind of gets lost with, the kicks are being moved back. They're trying to eliminate dangerous situations. So special teams has kind of been overshadowed. It's still pretty important, and Sheldon has benefited from the special teams twice.
90-yard kickoff return by Burgess, and then a blocked punt fell in the end zone. He fell on it. Burgess again, a touchdown. Sheldon now in front by 15. 27, but looking like they're feeling comfortable with themselves on the sideline. A lot more happy and upbeat after that latest touchdown. Feeling a bit more content with themselves. They still have a long way to go, up by 15. Still 4 minutes up in the third quarter, and then another quarter after that.
How does Southridge respond here, Mark? They were able to respond with a touchdown to open the half, but 21 unanswered. That's difficult.
And there's a kickoff from Shado. Back to return. There is Edie from the 1 yard line, and he returns it back to the 10. Now cuts back to the outside of the 15. A flag flies, and he's taken out the 20-yard line. Pushed out of bounds by 5 Sheldon defenders. The flag is down at about the 26-yard line here on the near hash. It was about a 19-yard return for Edie, but we'll see what the flag is on the return.
Looks to be on Southridge.
And indeed it is. An illegal block in the back, or a clipping penalty on Southridge. So it'll be a long 15-yard penalty for overall for Southridge. That's penalty number 10 on them. They're winning the penalty battle overall for Sheldon. They have 13 penalties. Sheldon did better in the second half on that. They had 11 in the first half so far, 2 in the third quarter.
Well, that's what was impressive for Southridge, is that they were able to limit the penalties, and now it's just snowballed, and you can argue that's what's kind of led to this 21. I mean, not really. I mean, there's the kick return and then Michael Johnson Jr., but that blocked punt was kind of due to the amount of penalties that Southridge got on that one drive.
So it'll now be 1st and 10 for Southridge from their own 10-yard line after that 15. It'll just be a 10-yard penalty. Pardon me, not 15. From the 20 to the 10 here for Southridge. 27-12, Sheldon in front, 3:50 left in the third quarter. Handoff goes to Sims on the far side, tries to get in the corner, but he's taken down in the backfield. In there on the stop was the All-State linebacker, Jaron Banks, for Sheldon. It's a loss of about 4 yards. 2nd and 14 now coming up for Southridge.
All of a sudden, those outside runs aren't really netting much yardage for Southridge. Sheldon seems to be locking down.
Especially a loss of 3, 2nd and 13 here for Southridge. The snap goes to, throws over the middle part of the field, through the hands of the defender for Sheldon, incomplete. And then a receiver there for Southridge was Blake Sims, the running back. He can't haul it in. And now 3rd and 13 for Southridge. This is a big play coming up here for Southridge. They don't want to go 3 and out and give Sheldon the ball right back. They added something out of this drive, I think, even if it is just a couple first downs, get their offense back in rhythm. 3rd and 13, 3:18 left in the third quarter. The snap for Baker, looking to throw now, break it off a run himself, far side across the 10, taken out on the 15-yard line. He's shy of the first down by about 6 yards, though. It's a gain of around 7. It'll be 4th down coming, about 6 to go.
It's a good play there by Bickler, especially with the special teams difficulty with punts. Able to get out of his own end zone.
You go for it here, 4th and 5, 2:50 left in the third, down by 15, but you're from your own 15-yard line. Looks like they will. And now the snap goes to Bickler, looking to run around. He loses the ball, and he falls back down on it, but it's going to be a turnover on down. Sheldon ball from the 7-yard line.
It's all kind of falling apart here for Southridge.
I'm not sure if that was a designed punt attempt that just didn't go well for Bickler, because he was running around looking to punt that one, it looked like, with the ball in his right hand.
I don't know what that was. It was a delayed snap. Everyone seemed to just look around when the ball was snapped.
So 1st and goal for Sheldon now from their own 7-yard line, looking to add on. They've scored 21 points already this half. We're into the third quarter, 2:45 left. Now the snap to Johnson Jr. fakes the hand, looking to throw. Now to the right side, he runs with it. He's looking to throw on his back foot, looking for the end zone. And it is caught, a touchdown. On the reception, Kamani Quaid. 7-yard pass from Johnson Jr., second of the game. Sheldon rolling right now 33-12.
The Irish are fighting.
Wow.
They're starting to show off why they were projected to be the best team in the state, or one of them at least. Lucked out with some good field position, some good special teams plays, but you have to execute at the end of the day. Michael Johnson Jr. has done that twice, only 2 drives now on offense, both ending in touchdowns.
One from the 34 of Southridge, one from the 7 of Southridge. Not too long ago, the kick is up now from Shado through the uprights. Again, an extra point is good for the Irish, and it's now a 34-12 lead. Wow, this has been an onslaught in the third quarter. It was 6-6 at halftime. 34-12 now. Sheldon, 4 touchdowns in this third quarter for the Irish. 2 on special teams and 2 for Michael Johnson Jr. One via his legs, one via his arm.
I think what's most impressive is the defense. I mean, they're that first drive coming out of the second half, it seemed to be more of the same. They were giving up yardage on the run. Last 2 Southridge drives, those runs on the outside aren't working. They're containing Bickler, hitting him in a number of different ways. And then it's an all-around effort, but you got to give credit to the defense because they've come to play.
Yeah, they really have. Sheldon, they're really picking it up, and the defense has been really, really good all night long.
Yeah. It's the yardage they've given up, they've limited that.
Yeah, you mentioned it, kind of the bend, don't break defense in the first half for Sheldon. They get up some yards, but they get some interceptions as well to fix that. And then here in the second half, just nothing going up at all. In fact, they're forcing negative yards for the offense of Southridge the last couple of drives as well. They've been very impressed, not letting anything go to the outside. They're keeping contained, like we talked about, that Sheldon wasn't able to get offensively. They're keeping that defensively for the Irish on defense.
And that was key for Sheldon if they were going to stop Bickler.
And the kickoff here from Shado goes to the near side to Edie. He takes it at the 1-yard line again, loses it, picks it back up. And he'll turn it out of the end of his own end zone to the 10-yard, runs backwards, and he's stripped, or he almost strips off the ball, but he's taken down inside the 10-yard line as about 7 Irish dogpile him and force him down. It'll be first and 10 from the 7-yard line. Irish coming in there trying to strip the ball away. I thought they did for a second. But a good job by Edie to hold on to it, but it will be first and 10 from the 7 or so yard line for Southridge. That was a bad decision by Edie to retreat, going to the outside.
I don't know why they continue to try and return these kicks. I mean, they've started out at the same spot on their own 10 or 11. It's been one of the two. Just let it go in the end zone. Start off with better field position. Give your offense a chance. I know Edie wants to make some plays. He's a talented player. But at this point in the game, it's the 3rd straight drive with some bad field position.
So first and 10 from the 58-yard line, and the handoff goes up the middle to the running back for Southridge. That's Sims, and he doesn't have much room to run to about the 10-yard line, a gain of 2. Maybe they gave him the 11. It'll be 2nd and 8 coming up. 2:11 left here in the third quarter. 13-4 or 13-12 Sheldon in front. They scored 4 touchdowns in this quarter. 2 on special teams, 2 on offense. 2 minutes left now and counting in the third quarter. Back to pass. Bickler fires to the near side. Caught. Oh, actually bobbled on the screen was Edie. It is a forward pass, incomplete as it hits the turf. Now 3rd and 7 coming up here for Southridge.
Nothing seems to be working for Southridge right now. All those plays that were netting a ton of yardage have started to fade away. It's the second straight wide receiver screen that we've seen from Southridge that's ended up on the ground.
3rd and 7 from the 11-yard line here for the Skyhawks. 34-12, Sheldon in front. Now the snap, the Vickler looks to fire deep on the right side of the field. He has a man, he leaps, one-handed catch, but it goes off of his fingertips of Michael Pluck. Near the 40-yard line, cannot haul it in, and that's a tough play to make. It is incompletion now, 4th and 7 coming up. Ben Watson all over that coverage there for Sheldon. I like the play call, though, on 3rd and 7. Try to get a home run ball. You got to do something like that. Now down by 22 points. And we will see a punt here for Southridge.
Southridge really hasn't been able to cover their punts, so watch out for Sheldon penetrating the line and maybe blocking another.
Back to return as Kamani Quaid's a punt is Bradley Bickler. Snap is right there. The kick is away, but it is a bad punt, but wobbly punt to the 35. It bounces, and no one will touch it for Sheldon. It rolls past the 40. It takes a Southridge roll, and it'll be down at the 44-yard line of Southridge. Sheldon football. First and 10 from their Southridge 44 for their third offensive drive of the second half. Looking to go 3 for 3, perfect on offense so far in the second half.
It'll be interesting to see where they go. I mean, we've only seen them twice so far. One play the last drive, one play the first drive. A little bit different from those long, grinding drives that they had in the first half.
Sheldon, their last 3 possessions offensively, they got the ball at the Southridge 34, the Southridge 7, and the Southridge 44. They've been on plus side of the field to start drives this entire half. And that's been the Michael Johnson Jr. show after that. First and 10 for Sheldon from the Southridge 44. And the shotgun is the quarterback. Johnson takes the handoff, goes it up the middle to Fulton. Has some across the 40, taken out across the 35-yard line. A couple of defenders in there on the tackle, but a good gain near the first line. In fact, they're going to give him the first down. 10 yards exactly for Folsom on first down, all the way to the 34.
It's more of the same from Folsom. Some great runs every time he's gotten the ball. Starts off the drive with a 10-yard run.
Now the handoff again to Folsom up the middle, breaks free from a tackler, but then he's taken down quickly. A flag does fly in the middle of that scrum. The tackle made by a couple of different Southridge defenders in there in the area. On the tackle was Jeffrey Higgins. We've seen him offensively. There is a Sheldon lineman down.
Just be a cramp.
Looks like that is underneath the whole pile, Austin Lasby. And it is a cramp. He's now up on his feet. Stretching that out, leaping a bit on it, try to stretch that out and get that cramp to go. I don't think a break on the 7 as he limps off, trying to get that stretched out by some trainers. Haven't heard a word on the flag just yet. And it looks like it's going to go against Southridge. I think this is probably a face mask. I didn't quite see the signal.
Well, Folsom's helmet did pop off, so it would make sense if it was a face mask.
All the way back now to the 16-yard line is Southridge. It will be a first and 10. As they got a first down on that run. And they hand up in the middle for Johnson Jr. Breaks free from tackle, but taken down in the backfield. Down to the 25-yard line. A loss of about 4 yards for the Sheldon quarterback on that scramble there. The offensive line letting those tacklers for Southridge nowhere to go for Michael Johnson Jr. on that one.
That's some of the penetration that we've seen from Southridge from the first half. Haven't seen it much here in the second half, though Sheldon really hasn't had the ball on offense much. But they continue to get pressure.
Second and 15 from the 20-yard line now for Sheldon. Snap. And Johnson Jr. back to pass for one to the right, so looking to throw deep to the end zone. He has a man in the end zone off the fingertips of Whiteside. It would have been the second touchdown of the game, but it's just a bit too far away from him.
I think there's going to be roughing the passer here, Mark.
We have a penalty in the end line of scrimmage, and indeed it will be. Johnson Jr. hit while he was, right after he released that one. Almost still made.
That was a beautiful throw.
It was right off the fingertip of the side. Perhaps a smidge too far, but I think I'll tell you, he has to come down with that one in the future.
If those are the throws that Michael Johnson Jr. is capable of, and I'm sure in practice they'll get more time to work on that, but that's a throw you just don't see at this level too often.
On the run off 1 foot, a throw towards the back corner of the end zone. Nearly 100% on the money. Right where only his receiver could make the catch. It is a long penalty on Southridge. Now all the way back up to the 10-yard line is Sheldon. And it is first and goal from the 10-yard line. Goal to go here for Sheldon from the 10. Looks like they might be just a bit outside the 10, but I think it is first and goal officially. No signal just yet from the officiating crew. Now they're still chatting. 2 of them on the far side and 2 of them on the middle part of the field near the ball. And they're going to actually say it is second down. No, they're moving it back to first down now. Lots of changes going on. It is 1st and 10 from the 11, according to the PA. And a snap to Johnson, who takes the handoff over to his running back. Up the middle goes Folsom. Not much room. Gets a couple of yards into the 10-yard line.
That was Burgess.
Pardon me, that was Burgess. You are correct. Gets a carry there. He's been a special teams monster in this one for the Irish. That'll do it here for the third quarter. And as the clock ticks away, at halftime it was 6-6 through 3 quarters, 34-12 this third quarter. Vintage Sheldon.
I think this is what we expected to see from Sheldon. I think on both ends of the ball, and we have seen a little surprise on special teams too. But offense looks crisp. They look like they're rolling. Starting to identify some of their change of pace schemes. Burgess seems to be that power back. Folsom's the patient, shifty back. That's nice to have, especially when you have a quarterback like Michael Johnson Jr. Showed off his arm. Some great throws here in the second half. Broke out that huge run. We're starting to see the potential that Sheldon has, especially on offense and on defense.
Yeah, I think we're seeing the crowd and the team themselves just a bit more relaxed and happy with what's going on here. Of course they are. It was tied 6-6 at halftime versus 2-8 team from a year ago. Sheldon, they have aspirations of winning the state title. A little bit of a slow start in the first half, but the third quarter completely flipped the script. They have a chance to get another touchdown here, down inside the 10-yard line. Second and almost goal. They have about half a yard from the end to get a first down. It might as well be second and goal for the Irish. But this is an opportunity for Sheldon to add on and put this game away here early in the fourth quarter.
Absolutely. Where will they go? Will they go on the ground with Johnson Jr. or Burgess, or through the air?
And Burgess in the backfield now in the shotgun next to his quarterback Johnson Jr. And the snap goes a little bit low, but taken there by Junior Designer. Now he's looking to throw it. Throws onto the corner of the end zone. Diving. Touchdown. Kamani Quaid. His second of the game. On the run, Johnson Jr. again throws a dart to the diving Kamani Quaid. Sheldon adding on 40-12. The first play of the fourth quarter in the touchdown. The third pass of the night for Johnson Jr. The fourth touchdown overall.
That's some special stuff there, Mark. I don't think that's pressure in his face. He knows he's going to get hit hard. Delivers a dime to the corner. I mean, this is just something you don't see very often at the high school level. Michael Johnson Jr. showing off why he's the #1 dual threat quarterback in the nation for 2018.
Shado on the kick, the extra point here for the Irish. The snap is a bit high, the hold down, the kick is up, and it is through the uprights. Campbell Shado again now 41-12, a 39-point lead, 5 touchdowns in the first quarter and 6 seconds in the second half for the Irish. They are putting it on Southridge here in the second half.
This is what we expected to see from the Sheldon offense. And that was one of those drives that really shows you what they're made of, because we've only seen some flash plays here and there. Saw the big run, just a 2-play drive on their first drive of the second half. Then had great field position on their second drive. That was more of a setup, breakdown, everything. They had everything going on that drive. Able to see what they're all about. Starting to think, Mark, all they needed was that first half to get situated, get used to all the new pieces, the new coaching staff, new system, put in game format. They needed that first half to see what it was all about. They've executed here big time in the second half.
I think a big shot in the arm, of course, with a 90-yard touchdown run kickoff return by Burgess. That really amplified and I think lit up the sideline for the Irish, and that really helped them out in terms of getting the offense rolling again later on in that second half. Back to kick for the Irish is Shado. Back to return once again, Edie, and Pluck. Kick is up, and it is deep towards Edie's side on the far side. They're taken there at the 2, and he will run it out again from the 10, now to the 15. Has a bit of a lane to the 20, to the 31. Man, the beat runs over the kicker to the 40, going to go to the outside, trying to get the edge, and he is going to be taken at the 45-yard line. Wow. Edie lowered the shoulder, ran right over a Sheldon defender. What an impressive run that was, about 43 yards on the kickoff return.
Of course, I say the kickoff return before. Why does he do that?
That's why.
That's why he does it, yeah.
Edie showing off his speed, his athleticism, and his strength there with that kickoff return. An impressive run there. lowered the shoulder, delivered the boom there on the Sheldon Irish defender, but
I think that was Shido, the kicker.
I think it was. Hopefully he is okay for the Irish. First and 10 for Southridge from their own 45-yard line. After that long return back by Edie. Now the snap goes to Bickler, looks up in the pocket, and will run with it across the midfield. Now breaks a tackle to the 45, taken up and thrown down to the ground. On the tackle there for Sheldon was Jacob Frey.
Just more of the same from Bickler there. Another 10 yards with his feet. He's been effective on the ground.
First and 10 now into Sheldon territory from the 44-yard line. And the shotgun again is Bickler. Off to his right is his running back, Jeffrey Higgins. Taking it off, throws over to the right side, complete on the screen out to the right side, caught there by Whitechap. Pushed out of bounds, though, near the first down marker. I think he might have enough for the first down, and they are going to say that no signal just yet. It was very close to that first down line on the far side of the field. And they're going to say he had enough for, no, he does not have enough for the first down, about a half-yard short, I do believe is the official ruling. Second and very short here for Southridge in the shotgun. It'll be a pass. Or the left side quick throw, but it is off target, intended there for Fajardo. And if the defender there for Sheldon, I think in coverage there was Zach Bolton. If he picked up, that could have been an interception. The throw was off target there from Bickler.
Could be nothing here, Mark, but Carter Hellickson, the backup QB, seems to be warming up on the sideline. Michael Johnson Jr., his night may be done. Normally you don't see the backup warming up on the sideline if he's not.
It'll be 3rd and 1. Third and a short one, about a half a yard officially. And the handoff goes to the nearest to Whitechap. He breaks the tackle, has the first down to the 30-yard line. Broke a tackle in the backfield and then pushed forward for the first down. First and 10 from the 30, about a 4-yard run there from Whitechap. On the stop there was Oren Patu for Sheldon. First and 10 from the 30, and the snap again to Bickler, looking to pass over the mid part of the field. Pump fake, fires, and flag out, pass interference, tripping the receiver up there in the secondary for Sheldon was Zach Folsom. The head receiver for Southridge was Joshua Kahlo. It'll be a 15-yard pass interference on Sheldon. And it'll be first and 10 now from the 15-yard line for Southridge.
Good identification there by Bickler. Receiver gets the leverage on the corner. Either you get a touchdown there or you draw the pass interference, and they got the latter.
So first and 10 again here for Southridge. Now all the way up to the Sheldon 15-yard, looking to get on the board here for the first time since early in the second half. It was a touchdown run by Bickler. A couple yards out. 41-12. First and 10 from the 15 in the shotgun. Bickler takes us now, looking over the middle, fires. So now he's going to run on a pump fake, looking to step back, throw towards the end zone, looking for Edie, but overthrown towards the pylon. And that play almost broke down in the backfield, but nice awareness there from Bickler, tries to get a throw off, just a bit too far out of reach for Edie. Second and 10 now from the 15.
This is where we see the Sheldon defense usually come to play in their own red zone. Limiting some throws and getting some good coverage on the receivers, but Southridge has also been able to score here as well.
41-12, second and 6, and the throw towards the end zone, and it is caught in the end zone by Southridge. What a throw from Bickler. He has his man. Look, that was Graham Auer in the corner of the end zone. What a throw from Bickler. The pressure in his face, falling away, makes a dart of a throw to the end zone. A touchdown pass for Bickler is first of the night, and it's now a 41-18 score here in the third quarter.
Really nice throw. That's a dime right there. Falling away, too. He got pressure in his face. Able to drop a beautiful pass on the corner route to the end zone. Bickler's been able to show off his arm tonight. Other than a couple interceptions where he overthrew his guy, he's made some nice passes.
I said third quarter, I did mean fourth quarter, of course. 10:42 left here in the final frame. And now we have, I think, a false start.
They didn't snap the ball.
And then we saw the center there for Southridge. I think that's Anthony Valverde. He kind of pump faked on the snap.
Yeah.
And that is a false start, of course, on Southridge. So they'll move back 5 yards now. They were going for 2 anyways. So we'll see what does happen. I think we'll see them go for it again, of course, now. Back 5 yards further to the 8-yard line.
Watch out for the delayed QB draw, or Bickler deciding to tuck it down and run. He's had success in this area where he's decided to run the ball. He's always, and every time he's run, it seems like he's gotten 10 or so yards. And we have a flag in the end zone. I think it's delay a game.
And Southern was not even near getting a playoff there. They were still talking. Baylor was chatting with his running back. That was Nico Coppy in the backfield. Nowhere near getting a snap off. So back-to-back 5-yard penalties, now back to the 13-yard line. 2-point conversion from the 13 now for Southridge. The snap, looking to pass, the bigger pressure comes, stepping up in the middle, and he is going to be spinning away from a tackle. Stepping up, breaks free, and he's going to be still running across the 10 to the 5, and then he stood up at the 5, taken down by a host of Sheldon defenders. Good effort there from Bickler, but 2-point conversion is no good. And it'll be Sheldon football after the kickoff. Still 41-18 the score, 10:42 left in the fourth quarter.
Had to figure it was going to be tough to get something there after the 2 penalties. Pushed themselves back a little too far. Everything to the end zone. It's pretty easy to cover that. Impressive with Bickler, though. Able to make something out of nothing. Just fell a little bit short. But Sheldon continues to run away with this one.
41-18 Sheldon. Well, looks like we'll see if we see the backup quarterback here for the Irish. Carter Hellickson. Jock Jr. has his helmet on still in the huddle right now, but he's not taking the field just yet. Of course, there is still the kickoff for the Irish. And perhaps it's another special teams touchdown. Maybe we don't even see the offense out again for Sheldon. We've seen 2 special team touchdowns for Sheldon in this second half. A kickoff return and a punt that was blocked, fallen on in the end zone for a touchdown by Sheldon. See what happens here on this one. Set to kick things off. Pardon me, Colin, for Southridge is Nathan Mercer. To return for the Irish is Kamani Quaid.
Along with say, got to watch that.
And no onside kick here as Mercer faked it again, but now timeout called by Sheldon. I think they didn't have enough men on the field.
Coach Line throws this headset off.
Quickly running out to the field was Jaron Banks to get out there, but not in time as Line called timeout. That's something that will piss off the coach, make
absolutely.
him frustrated. Mental errors like that, you cannot have those. At least this is an opportunity for someone to learn from it. Up by 23 right now, 10-40 left. Should not affect the outcome of this game, but you want to be a tough team, you can't have mental mistakes like that.
Well, I think going this for Josh or for Coach Line, this is all about going forward, getting the other guys some reps. You got to have your whole team on the same page and efficient, not making silly mistakes like that. Like you said, Mark, that'll upset any coach, no matter what time in the game. You can't establish a precedent like that. You got to be consistent in making sure you can do the little things like that.
So Mercer to kick again here for South. See if they do their onside kick. They run up for the fake right now, and no onside kick. He puts it back up on the tee, does Mercer. Back to return again, Quaid and Burgess on the far side. 41-18, Sheldon in front. 10:42 left here in the fourth quarter. And here's the kickoff from Mercer. It is deep towards the near side for Quaid. Has it at the 7. Takes it out across the 20. Now to the outside of the 20. Cuts back to the 30. Has run to the 40. Cuts back to the midfield. Taken down across the 45. And he started running. I think he was down, but he's taken down now at the 47-yard line. That's a 40-yard return there for Kamani Quaid. He has had a day today. 2 touchdowns receiving and a big return right there.
Getting it done on special teams. Michael Johnson Jr. is back out there. Could be his last drive, maybe not.
Sheldon, they're taking over at the 47-yard line in this one. It's their own 47. This is their worst field position this half.
Saying a lot.
And they're almost at midfield.
Yeah.
This is the first time they've started in their own territory this half. They started the 34, the 7, and the 44, now at their own 47. First and 10 with Johnson in the quarterback. He takes his snap, pitch out to the left side. It's taken there on the far side of the pitch from Fulton. Has one run across the 40 to the 30. Has still room to run. One man to be taken down inside the 15-yard line. On the tackle, Edie, but not before a long gain for Zach Folsom. The pitch worked to perfection for Sheldon, and they're in business again here, deep into Southridge territory.
More of the same for Folsom. This guy's pretty electric. Look, going forward in the season, Sheldon's got to be happy with the running backs they have. He's dangerous in the open field. Hasn't really been able to bust a long one. He has been able to get 10 yards, maybe 8 yards, but there you see the long one. This guy's got some speed, and they have some two change of pace backs that can really beat you in different ways.
First and 10 from the 12-yard line here for Sheldon. That was a gain of 41 yards on that run. Now a flag thrown in the end zone. I think this is a delay of game on Sheldon, and it will be. From the 47-yard line down to the 12. So now it'll be first and 15 from the 17-yard line for Sheldon, racing the last 5 yards of that run by Folsom. Yeah, you mentioned the speed. He gets that edge. Good luck tackling him. He has quick burst, does Folsom. Showed that off there, and also the cutbacks in the middle part of the field. First and 15 for Sheldon. The snap goes to Johnson. The reverse here to Kamani Quaid coming out of the back. It breaks a tackle. Spins away from another one. He's taken out at the 15. So it'll be a gain of a couple yards. That was sniffed out there by the deep of the Southridge. They almost had a tackle in the backfield as well.
Haven't had much success with the jet sweeps, the reverses, whatever that is. It's a hybrid between the two. I've done that twice tonight. Both times Southridge has been able to sniff it out.
That was a 2-yard gain. Now second and 13 coming up here for Sheldon from the 15-yard line of Southridge. Sheldon in front, 41-18, 9:40 left here in the fourth quarter. Now fake the handoff, Johnson to throw again back in the pocket. Now pressure comes, steps up and looks to run on the far side, steps back again, reversing field. Breaks away again. Now he's all the way to the 30-yard line, rushing over to the far side. Looking to run now, and he'll fire on the run towards the end zone. Looking for Herbert. Did he come down with it? And he is in for a touchdown. Incredible. Michael Johnson Jr. somehow keeping the play alive, finding his 6'5" wide receiver, Patrick Herbert, in the end zone for a touchdown. How did they do that?
You don't see that catch too often at any level. That's as good of a catch as you'll see. Got to tip your cap to Michael Johnson Jr. keeping the play alive, giving Patrick Herbert a chance to come down with it. But, geez, I don't even know how he did.
Patrick Herbert, he has committed to the University of Oregon. Michael Johnson Jr. has offers from Oregon and a host of other Power 5 schools. That was a Power 5 move right there.
Yeah, I'd
oh,
say
my
so.
goodness. That play must have lasted about 15 seconds. That is an eternity in football. My goodness. Michael Johnson Jr. extends the play, reverses field a couple of times, makes the way all the way back to the 30. The play began at the 15. Now we have something going for two. Johnson Jr. back to pass now for all the way back to the 15-yard line. The throw is over and it is knocked down. I think there was a flag down that I didn't even see.
Or, no, I don't think they awarded the touchdown.
I saw the signals for touchdown. I'm not sure if there was a flag down anywhere. I did not see anything, but
it is third down.
It is now third down for Sheldon from the 15-yard line.
Wow.
So take away the touchdown and take away an exciting play. Everyone involved, we got too hyped up on that play. We got near side, didn't even see the flag on the field. Third and 13 for Sheldon from the 15-yard line. Johnson back to pass. Fakes the handoff. Now he's rushing around the left side, looking to throw. Far side, looking for a man. Kamani Quaid in the end zone. And he has it for a touchdown. His third receiving score of the game. Sheldon, they say, take that. And they score right back after the penalty takes one away. Sheldon 47-18 here in the fourth quarter.
As the bullet pass there by Michael Johnson Jr. We saw the lob to Patrick Herbert, got waved off. Then he just shows off the arm, powers one in there to Kamani Quaid.
Kamani Quaid, 3 touchdown receptions in this game. They're all in the second half. Kamani Quaid, all of last year, he didn't have a touchdown on the offensive side. 9 receptions for 155 yards.
Could be a special connection with these two throughout the season.
And the kick is up here from Shado through the uprights. Another one good for Sheldon. They're now in front, 48-18. They lead by 30 once again here at Sheldon High School. Well, a wild drive that was for Sheldon. I thought they scored 2 touchdowns on that one, but you're really showing off the arm, the legs, everything of Michael Johnson Jr. The second half has been very kind to him.
It's truly impressive what they're able to do right now in the second half. And got to remind our viewers, they're without Raymond Woody, 4-star recruit, one of the best wide receivers in the country in high school. And they're able to show off all the weapons they have without him. That's just crazy to imagine what they're going to look like once he's back and healthy.
48-18 the score here. Sheldon in front. An incredible pitch and catch. Johnson Jr. to Kamani Quaid, his 3rd touchdown reception of the game. He had none all last year, 3 already tonight. He was the defensive back star a year ago, 12 interceptions, most ever by a sophomore in Oregon history. 3 touchdowns today. Back to kick here for Sheldon. The kickoff from the 40-yard line is Campbell Shado. Warming up again on the sideline for Sheldon is the backup quarterback Hellickson. The kick is off and taken there near the end zone by Edie. Takes it at the 1 and return it out once again. To the 15 out of the far side, takes it to the 20 before he's met by a couple of tacklers, taken down just shy of the 20-yard line. To about the 18-yard line. 9 minutes to go in regulation. 48-18 the score here at Sheldon High School.
With this game intact for Sheldon, safe to say they'll come away with the victory tonight. Just got to work on some of the things that maybe they haven't done so well. Maybe try and consistently stop the run, try and contain Bickler a little bit more. They're going to continue to play some good teams throughout the year. Now is the time to work on some of those things that they maybe haven't done so well throughout this game.
1st and 10 from the 20 here for Southridge. Put over the left side from Bickler. Caught there on the near sideline by the receiver, and that's Nathan Whitechapel. He's taken out quickly, though, after a gain of about a yard. In there on the tackle was a couple of Sheldon Irish. Oren Patu along with Jaron Banks on the stop. Gain of a yard, 2nd and 9. Now coming up from the 21 here for Southridge. Clock is ticking in this game. Decided already, but we'll see if Southridge can get the offense going a bit here. They scored a touch on their last drive on a pass from Bickler to Auer. 2nd and 9, the snap to Bickler again, throws. Oh no, he's going to fake the throw now. He steps up in the pocket, runs a bit, breaks from a tackle. Pushed across the 25-yard line to the 26, but he shy of the first down by about 4 yards. It'll be 3rd and 4 coming after that 5-yard scramble by Bickler. See the size there becoming a factor for Bickler. Just barreled over a defender, carried a couple more for some more yards.
Now he's played some D-line tonight too, so he's battled the big guys. He's definitely got some strength to him.
3rd and 4, the handoff was up the middle, and it's taken there by Whitechapel. A big hit by Sheldon. Jaron Banks levels him. Not enough for the first down. 4th and a couple coming up. What a hit that was by Banks. Oh my goodness.
Looked like there was an alley there too. Banks said not today very quickly.
In the backfield, along with the quarterback Bickler, is Higgins. 4th and 2, they're going for it. In the shotgun is the senior 6'7" quarterback, Bradley Bickler. 48-18 Sheldon, 7:15 and counting left here in the fourth quarter. And now a punt here for Southridge. No one back to turn for Sheldon. Back to run it is Kawani Quay. He will not touch it, though, as I'll let it roll all the way past the 30 down to the 26-yard line where it's downed by Whitechapel of Southridge. So a good punt there from Bickler, but it'll be Sheldon football. The defense stepping up here in the second half. They've been good all game long. 18 points allowed versus an offense, so we've seen they have a lot of weapons. Sheldon, they've been able to step up, especially in the second half. A lot better, a lot fewer yards here in half number 2.
Absolutely. On both ends, they've been able to get it done. The offense has looked electric. This is the offense we were expecting to see coming into the game. They needed that first half to work some things out. Defenses look strong, too, in the second half. And Michael Johnson Jr.'s day is done.
Yeah, back in now, or coming in for the first time is Carter Hellickson. In motion is a receiver. He's going to hand it off to that receiver. That's Jack Folsom coming to the far side. Turns upfield, has across the 30 to about the 31-yard line. A gain of about 5 yards. 2nd and 5 coming up. Carter Hellickson. He got the ball in terms of, he ran the ball a couple times last year. 11 carries, 35 yards. No pass attempts all of last year. The senior 6'1", 170-pound quarterback. Also plays some DB for the Sheldon team. Subbing in for Michael Johnson Jr., who was very good today. Touchdown with his legs and a lot with his arms. 3 to Kamani Quaid, along with another one in the first half. To Seidel, 4 touchdown passes, 1 on the ground, 5 total. Hannah was up the middle here to Folsom, breaks through from a tackle across the 35, spins past another one all the way to the 36-yard line.
All this guy does is just get yards. Has not been stopped for a loss at all, it seems like, tonight. Now Sheldon brings in Matthew Burgess, kind of more of a bruiser back instead of the finesse.
Burgess coming, he's been good today too. Special teams touch on the kick return and a blocked punt that he fielded in the end zone for a touchdown. It'll be 1st and 10 for Sheldon from the 36 yard line for the Irish. Helson in the shotgun. Receiver goes in motion for the Irish with the hand up the middle. And something to Burgess, and he's upended by the Southridge defense. Look on the tackle there. That was Nico Coppi. Took out the legs of Burgess and flung him forward. A gain of about 2 yards. 2nd and 8 now coming in for Sheldon from the 39-yard line. Sheldon in front by 30, 48-18 the score. 5:15 and counting left here in the 4th quarter of this one. Mark Randy and Colin Gavin with you here live from Sheldon High School. Helson in the shotgun, running back, or right receiver in motion again, and the handoff goes to him. This time it's taken there by Frey. Runs up field across the 40, pushed near the 50-yard line. Not enough for a first down, but a good gain there on 2nd and 8. Say a gain of about 6, 3rd, and a couple coming up. We're going to say not quite 6 yards. Taken down at about the 48-yard line.
I'd like to see Hellickson throw the ball here.
Especially third and 4. Yeah, sorry, Colin. 4:30 left here in the 4th quarter. Sheldon in front by 30 points. So it was a tie game at halftime. Remember, 6-6 was our score. In motion from the far side is another receiver. Fakes the handoff as Hellickson now is going to be pressured. Taken down to the backfield, a sack. In there on the backfield with a couple of Southridge defenders. One of them was Graham Auer. And also back there, it looked like it was Zach Slail, 6'2", 250-pound defensive lineman. That'll bring up 4th down and long. 4th and 13 to 50 for Sheldon from the 34-yard line. And they will punt it away. Back to punt is Shado. Back to return again, the same 2. All night long here for Southridge. Edie along with Pluck. Clock is ticking. 3:35 left in regulation. Punt is away safely off the foot of Shado, and it bounces. Takes a Sheldon roll all the way to the 20-yard line, and it will be down inside the 20 now and all the way near the 15.
Nice punt.
Right at the 16-yard line for Cameron Shado. They were all the way down to the 34-yard line, and the punt goes all the way to the 16. What a punt that was from Cameron Shadow. Got the big roll, and that's why he's an all-state punter for the Sheldon team. 3:15 left here in regulation. Hopefully, going to take it right up to the 10 o'clock hour here on KWBA2. There was the final, by the way, in Thurston, 55-20. The Colts knock off Willamette. And for the 1-0 in the year, that was a fun year last year for Thurston. They made it to the playoffs at the 5A level. We're looking to the same thing here in 2017. Pick from the shotgun again here for South. Takes a snap. Drops back to pass, looking near side, now fired here near the corner, near the sideline, pardon me, caught there on the run at about the 30-yard line by Graham Auer. A touchdown catch today. This time a gain of enough for a first down all the way past the 30. As the crowd gets into it again, the student section riled up here at Sheldon High School. All the way to the 32 on that one. First and 10 from the 32 here. In the shotgun again is Baylor. Fires off to the running back on the right side. That's Sims. To the 30, cuts back, taken out of the 35-yard line, a gain of a couple yards. One of the students was holding a Get Loud sign, running up and down the student section, and they were loving it. From the top of their lungs.
Impressive, 48-18. Still got a lot of energy.
Football season is back.
Yeah.
These students cannot be happier. Second and 6, the 4-yard pass. The running back, Sims, back to pass. Bickler gets up in the pocket. Pressure comes. Still setting on. Fires off. Balance complete to the far side. I think that's E there on the reception. He has a first down. Still going near midfield. Pushing forward across midfield. And there's a big scrum in the middle part of the field. Finally, the whistles are blown. It'll be a first down for Southridge. But an impressive run there after the catch by Edie.
Those are always fun. Little team versus team.
The linemen come in and push you forward.
Yeah. Got to say, Mark, even though score is what it is, got to give credit to Bradley Bickler. He's been impressive tonight. His throws, just his escapability against a good Sheldon team.
First and 10, and flag flies right up the left side. Caught there by Whiteshep. He has a good gain there across the 45 of Sheldon, out of the 41-yard line. But a flag down as the snap was fired to Bickler. This might be on the offense. It might be on Sheldon. And it is indeed going to be on Sheldon. We'll see if they decline or accept it. See if Bickler does. And it will officially be accepted by the offense of Southridge. I think you say impressive for Bickler. I think impressive overall for Southridge.
Yeah.
I mean, they're down by 32 minutes left in this one, but they tied at 6 at halftime. Really did respond well to some bad things happening to them in the second half. They just cannot have enough firepower versus Sheldon team. First and 5 from the 44-yard line here for Southridge. Bickler takes a snap from the shotgun. Fired up the left side, caught there by the receiver Pluck, and he out across the 40. A shoestring tackle, though, by Sheldon. That was Kalen Morgan on the stop. Enough for a first down, though, for the Skyhawks. Now inside of the 40 to the 36-yard line.
Got to keep in mind, this was a team that only had 2 wins last year, and they're playing against one of the preseason favorites to win the state title.
First
they put up a fight.
And they've been very good. First and 10 from the 36. And the shotgun again, Bickler, and he takes the handoff, looks to throw, steps up in the pocket, pressure comes, and he will run with it now across the 35. Taken down to the 31-yard line. And there on the stop for Sheldon was Griffin Line. The son of the head coach, Josh Line, getting a stop here for Sheldon. Gain of 3 yards. Officially second and 7 now for Southridge. 1 minute and 10 seconds left. The clock is ticking. Taking the snap again. Bickler looking to fire over the middle part, and he will step up in the pocket now, and he breaks free from tackle, but cannot break free from the second one. In there on the sack for Sheldon, Andy Adams, the sophomore, who played freshman last year, gets a sack, his first of the year. That's a loss of a number of yards. Now into the final minute of play, 3rd and long, coming up 3rd and 8, officially from the 34 for Southridge. Bickler in the shotgun, takes the snap. 3rd and 8. Drops back to comes, steps up, fires over to the right side. Caught there by the receiver, and he has the first down across the 25-yard line. Couldn't quite see who that was there on the far side. And it was caught by Connor Fajardo there for Southridge. The clock stops momentarily, now goes back when the chains have been set. 20 seconds left. Back to pass, Bickler. Fires towards the end zone on the near side. A leaping catch for Auer, and it's pulled away by Sheldon. Incomplete, though, as they're out of bounds. That was a fight for the ball between Kalen Morgan and Michael Pluck, pardon me. And it was pulled down by Morgan, but he was out of bounds after he came down with it. Almost another interception. That would have been the 3rd of the game for Sheldon. Clock stops at 12.9 seconds left. 48-18 the score here in Sheldon. Could be the final snap of this one. Here's the snap. Drop backs to pass to Bickler, looking for the end zone. Fires deep, looking for his man. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Connor Fajardo. 6.4 left. Good throw there by Bickler. And Southridge not giving up. Of course, the game's over, 6.4 left, but a good throw. I'd like to see Southridge continue to battle despite the game being over.
They're just building on some things. This is the first time we've really seen them go down the field consistently with their throws. So I think they're just trying to open things up a little bit more, see how it works. And Bickler's proven that he can throw the deep ball after two overthrows in the first half.
6.4 seconds left here as the kick attempt here by Mercer. Snap there, the hold is down, the kick is up, and it is straight through the uprights by Mercer. Now score 48-25. And the kickoff will likely be the final play of this game. You might see Southridge even onside kick just because, you might as well.
Yeah.
Good practice in a game time situation. 6.4 left, Sheldon in front by 23 points. One play left likely here in regulation. Sheldon, though, improved to 1-0 next week. They'll take on the road a week from tonight. And then next week for Southridge, they are at home versus Tigard. This is the Sheldon team that knows Tigard very well. They lost to them in the state playoffs a year ago, 27-0. Will be a tough battle, a tough test for Southridge. And really, Southridge, they have a really tough start to their schedule this year.
Yeah.
Very difficult. They have Sheldon, Tigard, Beaverton, Jesuit, and Westview, all playoff teams a year ago, and a lot of them made it to the quarterfinals or more. So if they can get a couple wins in their first 5 weeks, then that is a win for Southridge. They have a much favorable second half of their season for their schedule.
They've definitely been able to compete tonight against one of the better teams in the state. They got, like you said, they got Tigard next week. It'll be interesting to see if they can keep that momentum going, if this wasn't just a flash-in-the-pan game, first game of the season. I don't think it is. I do think they're a talented team. They got weapons on offense. Quarterback position seems to be solid. The defense came to play. And they do run that fake, like you said, Mark.
No onside kick here. They'll kick it off the tee. Will Mercer back to return. Kamani Quaid and Michael Johnson Jr. back there to return for Sheldon. But don't get hurt is what the sideline is saying to Michael Johnson Jr. on this kickoff return. Here's the kick from Mercer. 6.4 seconds left, and it is a squib kick fielded off the bounce of a teammate at midfield, and that will just about do it for this one. The clock will expire, and Sheldon come out on top here in game 1 of the season, and the fans, they rush the field here at Sheldon High School. They win 48-25, a 23-point win. 6 at halftime at Sheldon, all the Irish in half number 2.
Yeah, they were impressive on both ends, offense, defense, special teams. This was the team we thought we were going to see in the first half. All they needed was that first half to figure some things out. They got the momentum going early in the second half. Good start to the season. Good start for Coach Josh Lyon. Gets his first win as the Sheldon head coach. Good first game for Michael Johnson Jr. Definitely proved himself tonight. And Sheldon definitely showed why they are one of the better teams in the state.
Yeah, they really have. They were very good tonight. Michael Johnson Jr. 4 touchdown passes, 1 more on the ground, 5 total in his first game. It really was a slow start for him. He picked it up in the second half as well. A good game as well for Southridge, and especially Bradley Bickler. He mentioned a couple of touchdown passes, a run for himself as well. He was good despite facing pressure consistently all night long from Sheldon in front. Overall, I think a good game for both sides. Only one team can win. Sheldon coming on top by 23 points. As I mentioned, Sheldon, game number 2 next week at sunset. Will be on the call for that one on kwvaradio.org as well as on sheldonathletics.com. And then also Southridge will not be on that call, unfortunately, but Southridge versus Tigard next week as well. Mark Randy, Colin Capman with you all night long. Thanks, Jason Humphrey, our cameraman here from Sheldon High School, for listening and watching on sheldonathletics.com. Thanks to Tyler Caston and Cameron Derby back in our KWVA studios. We'll sign off for now. Talk to you again next week for more Sheldon football right here on KWVA and sheldonathletics.com. We'll talk to you again on Saturday or on Friday next week for more Sheldon football right here on KWVA Eugene 88.1. Thanks so much and have a great night, everybody. I wanted to sign off really quickly because it was right at 10 o'clock, and that's when we don't have the air anymore.
Yeah.
Then we can end the live stream. We're all good. Yeah, thank you.